And the mics are live on this Sunday morning. The camera should go live. I've only got sound in one earphone.
Oh, good. I was thinking I was having a stroke.
No, I think it's just this music, because my voice is coming through both ends. Check, check. Check, check. Nope, it's stronger in one ear than the other.
Yeah, mine's definitely higher and left.
Oh, fuck. You're on a different thing. So
Testing 1, 2.
Let's check the phone.
It's probably coming from... Oh, there we go.
You hear all that static, dude?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
That static is not good. That is a bad sign on everything having to do with this board.
We need to office space this board and...
No, this board has been very good to us.
It
It's
doesn't
been a
get the
very good
treatment
board.
that the other board does.
No, this board will be retired with honors, like a canine who has served his officer well.
Should I start preparing a funeral box for it?
I feel like we've
So that
always
Dwight
had
doesn't
some
have a
kind of
can?
issue with it.
Not with the
though.
board, though.
No?
It's always been something like ancillary to the board. The board has treated us well. The board's been like the one piece of equipment I can't bitch about that we've bought. Those things, the fucking headphone amps, overpriced garbage. But it's the cheapest overpriced
I was going to say,
garbage.
the sad one is this is the best of the three different kinds we've used.
Yeah, no, they're the best. They're still fucking garbage.
Why does nobody make a decent one of those?
I don't know, dude. You wouldn't think they would be that fucking hard, but apparently they are. Remember when we had the PA one for one episode?
Yeah, one episode.
Punted that fucker.
What kind of ad is this?
This is Avoid the Noid. You were probably too young to remember
Domino's.
the Noid.
What's up, Mikey?
The Noid was, I don't like the bad guy for
Yeah,
Domino's.
he ruined pizzas. But Domino's could fight the Noid so your pizza wouldn't be ruined.
Oh, okay.
And like he blew up so big, they made a video game about it. Did you play
There was
that?
a cartoon. There was a Saturday morning
Yo
cartoon.
Noid?
Yeah, there was a Saturday morning cartoon even. Like he was a big deal in the 80s. The
And
same
he
people.
was just a mascot for Domino's, and like he blew up.
Well, the same people that did the Domino's ad runs came up with the California Raisins. Like, that company owned the fucking time in between the TV programs in the fucking 80s.
That was just smart.
The California Raisins?
Yeah.
I always thought it was kind of racist.
Appealed to its audience.
Old black guy music with old black raisins.
Yeah, but it came out of like the 50s and 60s though, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's typical. There he is. There's the
Yeah.
Noid.
The
He's
Noid.
basically like a small dude with rabbit ears.
It was,
Oh,
He was
okay, I've seen
claymation.
that
Yeah.
And he would try to ruin the pizza, but Domino's would always stop him.
And he had like random superpowers, like his
Yeah.
arm turned into a mallet and his legs could be springs.
And he would like freeze pizzas so they were cold by the time they got to you. But not at Domino's, because that's back when they had the 30-minute guarantee. Which they had to do away with because they kept killing people. I see Half Sack and Mike is in the chat.
I do. I see them.
When are those guys going to start their show back up? It's time to get
So,
half
good
hour, right?
question. Don't ask little Rick, then you'll get 20 texts in a row that says, I'm waiting. I'm still waiting. Hey, Half Sack, I'm still waiting. Hey, when are we doing this? I'm still waiting.
It's about time we heard some half hour with Half Sack again.
Half Sack, we're still waiting.
Did you see they busted that trucker this week?
No.
Who had the
Should we be
the
recording this?
mini
No, not yet.
Okay.
podcast studio inside his truck?
What?
No.
And at first I was like, oh shit, they got beast! And there were a bunch of drugs and shit too.
Oh.
They didn't say the person's name. I'm assuming it's not him.
It's not
but-
him. He uses his phone.
Oh, okay.
I will put that in
Yeah,
my
no,
calendar.
there was like a small soundboard and one of these microphones set up on the other side of the truck. He was recording
Wow.
something from the road.
Yeah.
It's weird. First Friday in March, Half Sack says, will be the return of the half hour with Half Sack.
His body is ready.
Did you see the quote today?
Right?
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling
I
you.
wish I had a remote for the camera to just zoom in on that once per day and
It's,
then zoom back out.
It's getting harder to come up with those.
It's been like 5 weeks.
I know. Like the first one was like, boom, here it is, write this shit down. The second one's like, boom, here it is, write this shit. Now it's like, leave me alone, I gotta think about it. I see you with your fucking letters.
Just go rewatch like some Simpsons from 20 years ago and see what Bart wrote on the chalkboard and put that on there.
Alright. Well, I mean, it's 11:15. If Avery was coming, I feel like he'd be here. So, once again, he has forsaken me. Yeah, I turned away people this morning because you were bringing two. Already had Charlene coming. Brian had canceled, so that was fine. Then Fuckhead over there canceled.
He had a sore belly.
No,
he
his
couldn't
wife had
come
to be
in
somewhere
today.
at 11, so he couldn't come. Also, he was sick. It's like, are you trying to use all the excuses this morning, dude?
He probably just got done with the episode of The Office where
I didn't see the one about his
Ryan
wife.
Yeah, it was in the
takes
same sentence. He was like,
everything.
my wife has to be somewhere at 11, so I gotta stay home with the baby. Also, I'm sick. Also, my mother was killed by a podcast. Just ate there last week.
No, I totally would have said that, dude. You only need one excuse.
Yeah, Avery's not coming.
Is he
All right.
sick too? He's got that podcast virus.
It's going around.
Yeah. Usually every Sunday.
All right, well. I really, really, really wish I'd have told Jordan to come on. And just assumed somebody else would flake out. But I didn't do that. So, here we are.
Jordan, if you're listening, maybe you should run.
He's not listening.
I know. Taco Bell Sarah's here, though.
Cool. Hello, Starla.
It says Taco Bell
I know.
Sarah.
It always throws me off. Alright. Well,
Welcome, Stargate.
Stargate.
This is an explicit podcast containing filthy language and adult themes like dick and shit jokes. If you're easily offended or have a stick up your ass, this probably is not for you. Guidance is suggested for sensitive types, and occasionally some lights may flash, so if you're prone to seizures and all that, you might want to skip this. And lastly, we don't speak for anyone or any entity. We only speak for ourselves, of course. What follows is opinion based on our individual experiences in the industry. So take that. Ah, god damn it, I fucked it up at the end.
Welcome to the show formerly known as Out for Delivery. We are joined with a short crew today that was supposed to be an overflowing crew, but you know how that is. It's the treasure chest at the dentist office. We're joined by Charlene, a regular doubloon.
You have to say something, Charlene.
Oh,
Wave
sorry.
it.
I am
They,
worried.
they don't hear your wave.
I'm worried about her being close to Stu so much. She is now waving at microphones just like he used to do.
She's
What?
regressing.
Yeah.
The first time she came on, she was like boom, 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 knocking
I
it
know.
out.
I think she's been
Yeah.
hanging
All
out
comfortable
with
with
Stu.
the mic and
Also joined by Jazz,
I'm
the
here.
director, art director, production assistant, regular director, regular producer,
actual producer.
editor,
Yep.
I wear many coats.
janitor,
Sign changer.
sign changer.
Studio cleaner.
It said janitor.
I like Bruce's name better. Thank you very much.
Then we have Bruce,
Good morning.
the mayor of Milktown, who is on vacation,
I'm so excited.
and I hate him a little bit because of it.
It's okay, technically I am too. This is day 3 out of like 5 or 6.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I'm After Lodge Jason, the jackass of the studio, who regrets a lot of his decisions a lot of the time.
Just in life in general or regarding the show?
Regarding the show.
But not life in general.
No. You live and you learn.
No
Or
regrets.
life in general. Here I knew better and said, nah, it'll be fine. So, work was work. It was pretty light all week. Which scares me.
Last Monday was one of the heaviest days I'd had on that route
Oh,
in a
really?
very long time, and every day besides that was super light.
We didn't have that on Monday.
It was
Yeah,
weird.
we didn't at all.
Yeah, no.
It was a nice day.
It was sweet all week.
Hmm.
Yesterday was a little janky, but I mean, compared to the rest of the week, it was janky. Yeah. So I feel like Tuesday is going to be a nightmare.
That's probably gonna be bad. Was it late yesterday? I didn't work yesterday.
It was pretty late yesterday. Our DPS was 2.5 hours late, but
You know how they do at the station? They hold everything back so they can get the overtime on the holiday day.
that's true. Well, our station.
I've heard they do that.
Our station throws everything every day. I think it's the plant who does that.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. So had more certifieds you can shake a stick at this week.
Yeah.
One day I had 8, and if somebody doesn't silence their phone, I'm gonna throw an orange smoothie.
All right, I got it off. Sorry.
I was.
about
Where's
that.
this orange
It's the
smoothie
same
you're
text
claiming to have?
sound I use for Kim's texts.
So you
I,
just
I
check
thought it
your
was
phone?
me at first. I was like, fuck.
I just yelled at her, so I need to silence my phone because it is not silenced.
Somebody quickly text him before he gets to the button.
Too late.
Yeah.
I already did it. So, Hot Topics was having a T-shirt sale yesterday. So Calvin got 5 new T-shirts from Hot Topics.
And you got none because every time I've ever been in my life and Hot Topics had a T-shirt sale, the largest sizes are the first ones to go.
Well, and their largest size they carry at Hot Topics is not what it says on the tag.
No.
It's like
Yeah,
a
that's-
Chinese extra large.
Well, it's good. I didn't know that because last time I went in there, their shirts were so cheap. If they had had one that said my size, I'd have bought it.
Yeah, no, they're like 2XLs or like Chinese 2XLs.
Well, good.
It's almost equivalent to ordering stuff off Wish.
Oh,
Hmm.
Yeah.
Not as bad, but almost.
Well, they clean
Yeah.
it up first. They shake it off and
Yeah. That's probably what it is. Yeah.
put their stamp on it.
So, so Calvin got a bunch of new T-shirts because there's always a bunch of smalls.
Yeah.
They was buy 2 get 3 free,
Wow.
which tells you Hot Topics is really trying to get rid of some shit.
Yeah. It was
They
all
were
their
they were
clearance
just I think they
items.
were like $5 a piece or something when I went.
Yeah. So they're trying to get rid of some shit, and we went to the mall, and we were there during the
It
malls.
means Jason really loves Ratfink.
What?
That's his buddy on his show. It's like his co-host.
Yeah. I pretty much really love Ratfink because Ratfink is cool. Ed Roth is the best artist since Leonardo. I'm gonna go with that.
It works.
Ratfink is the
The-
modern day Mona Lisa.
The Ninja Turtle.
Yes, that one.
Okay.
So we were at the mall last night, and it was during the changeover that the local mall has now. Are you guys aware of this policy?
Oh, the 21 and
Yeah, at 4 o'clock.
Which is crazy early. Why is
Yeah.
it that early?
I don't know.
I can see like 6.
I don't know. Like I feel like it should be illegal for this. Although I understand why they do it. If 4 o'clock, if you are not accompanied by a parent, if you're not 21 years or older, you gotta leave.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Wait, the age was 21?
You
21,
can't- You
yeah.
cannot
It's not
be
even
in the
18.
mall without
21.
adult supervision after 4 p.m.
I thought it was 18.
no, it's 21.
It's 21.
Missed that.
And they take it very seriously because they have
Yes,
security
they do.
guards that have fake uniforms. Like they are really nice fake uniforms. They have like Mountie hats they're wearing
Okay.
and like fake badges,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're standing at every entrance.
There's a lot of them.
Oh yeah, there's tons of them. And then not only that, they had real cops there, like helping them, like kick people out.
Is it still a problem?
I don't know.
Like the thing that caused all this happened a while ago.
I feel like that happened like 4 years ago.
Why-
Why? Are we
It was
still...
like 2 years ago.
Why is it still like maximum security mall?
I just know it
And
happened around
there's another
Christmas.
aspect of this rule that you don't know.
No, apparently I don't. Go on, please.
So 2 weeks ago,
If you're white, it's cool.
no, 2 weeks ago, Kim's daughter Shelby, it was her birthday, and she wanted to spend her birthday at the mall with her friends.
Makes sense.
Turned 15.
Yeah.
The rule is
She had a shop for colored lights.
one adult can only be responsible for up to 5 people under the age of 21.
So they had to leave
So
the
if
mall.
you've got 6 people, you have to have 2 adults.
So
Oh,
you were the
wow.
other adult.
Well, I wasn't there. I was working or doing whatever I was
Yeah,
doing.
So who was the other adult?
One of the girls there was Kim's stepsister, and she was
Oh.
22. So they
So she
went
kinda-
from
Okay.
11 kids and 1 adult to 2 adults and 10 kids. It worked out quite well.
Huh.
2015, December.
That's when that happened.
Yes.
The crazy. Because let's be clear, what happened was a bunch of people a bunch of kids
Yeah.
went crazy in the mall,
Yeah.
and the real issue here is, well, yeah, you're 18 and an adult. Hivesack saying, but at 18 you're an adult. What the fuck? Yeah, but you also can't smoke or drink. You can
No.
still join the army.
But if you
Don't
have
worry.
your
Yeah,
own
you can,
home,
you know, you can
how
die
are
for
you
your
supposed
country.
to ask all your
but-
parents to come to the mall with you when you live on your own? What if you move to college to a different fucking state and don't have a parent to come
I
with
guess
you?
you shop at the mall during daytime hours. They don't want your
Work
business.
And school.
Is that rule at the mall directly across the street too?
I don't think so because no kids go to that mall because
Right.
it is
That's
just
like the old
rich
people,
people.
yeah,
It's old rich people.
Maybe
all
that's
it
why
is.
they instituted that rule to help both malls.
to get rid of.
Make the kids go to the other mall that none of them want to go to because
Nobody,
it's nothing
but
but
still,
old people.
no kids go to that mall.
Yeah.
Have you
They'd
been
have
to
to
that mall?
actually put something in there they'd want to see.
Yeah.
But
the only thing in there is a Disney store.
the
in that mall.
coolest shop, which
Well,
it,
now-
it
That
isn't
seems
there,
a little weird that I
it
just
isn't
said
there
that
anymore,
because I'm almost 30.
but
and
the
I just
coolest
said-
shop that was ever in both of those malls for forever was in the other one. The one that sold all the cool games and shit, and they had like magic tournaments up
Yeah,
there.
yeah, they moved out years ago.
Yeah, they moved out a while
Is that
ago.
when
they
when
were they were the
did
last
remodel?
bastion of under 60 that would shop
Yeah.
in that mall. It was after the remodel, but this shop was just too big for the store that they
Well,
had in there, and I'm sure the prices they were paying.
That
were
Empire is
nuts.
pretty sad because they used to have one in that mall and they had one in J Mall.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the time?
There were 3, weren't there? Weren't there 2, and then one on the other side of the river?
No, I don't know about that one, but anyway,
The mall
That
on the
empire
other side
has
of the river,
fallen.
man. Have you all like? Okay, so now that we're talking about malls, can we talk about that? Like when you go in that mall, it always smells like fish.
which one?
The one across the river.
You don't go to that mall.
I haven't been to that mall in probably 20 years.
First of all,
Okay.
I don't go to that mall because I'm not paying a toll to go over to that shithole state. I'm not gonna pay money
it's a
to
nice
go to
bridge, though.
I'll pay
You're
money.
only-
No, I'll pay the toll to come back, but I'm not paying the toll to go there.
Except
Well,
one.
you can
Mexico, they just wave you in when
Here,
you're going, but
Since we can't say names, you can take. There's another bridge. You
I
can
know,
take
I know
that's
what bridge you
free.
can take, but then you gotta go the
Yeah.
long way around. It's like fuck all that, dude. Like
It's
malls are
worth it
shitty
once a
anyway.
year.
Yeah.
Worth it once a year.
But we don't have to pay the toll. We take the long way when we go there. Yeah, no, fuck
That
all
mall
that.
back in
To
the
get my
day when I was a
peaches.
kid was awesome though. The arcade and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
you're thinking of that's not there anymore.
That's where. Never mind. That's not even the same building.
Yeah, it's not the
where
same
the,
mall. There was 2
that big
malls
redneck
like
store. Yep.
next door to
There we
each
go.
other, kind of like they are the one we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that one got taken over by a Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah.
That's all that's there now.
was that the one that had the putt-putt course inside?
Yeah, it was like the whole
Yes.
upstairs was like a fun time arcade.
Had like a
was cool.
waterfall.
I
and-
remember my grandpa
was
bringing me
badass.
there.
I was still like in my
Yeah.
teens when I went there, but I remember that being cool.
Yeah, upstairs
like
there was
6.
putt putt.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of
Yeah.
arcade games. There was a theater. It was just a place for like kids and teenagers.
No. I only ever went to the Bass Pro Shop because that's all Grandpa really went to. But we had fun.
Well, yeah, but this was before the Bass Pro Shops existed.
Oh.
Like,
They bought out that mall and did away with the carousel and all that bullshit that was upstairs because malls are dying for some reason. And now they keep building malls that are outside. This is not a place to build a fucking outside mall. Like this
like Florida,
climate.
it's cool, but like you can't do it here. Like there's
Yeah,
so
well,
many
like
of
in
them
the
down where my mom
summertime,
lives,
it's like
yeah.
100 fucking degrees, and in the wintertime, it's 20 degrees.
And who the hell wants to walk outside in the wintertime?
I don't understand why they're
Sure
still building
don't.
malls, to be honest. I mean, they're just it's such a dying. The 2 biggest ones in the city, there's only one that has people that are there every
There's
time I
2.
drive by it.
The one.
Dude, you're missing the outdoor mall that they built recently.
Oh,
That's
that one
up
sucks.
from you.
Yeah,
It's like over
well.
by Red Robin,
okay.
by the standalone Red
Mhm.
Robin. I can't think of the name of that place, but they've got like a Starbucks and
Yeah. They've changed the name.
Crate and Barrel and Black Market White Day.
I recall. I was out in
A
that neck of
hippie
the woods
wine
last
store.
night.
Yeah. Huh?
Hippie wine store. It was a hippie store turned wine.
Oh.
They have,
But,
they have a nice bookstore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but let's be honest about this policy where they kick kids out, is because 2015 when this happened, it was inner city kids that took a city bus to this mall that caused the issue. And this mall's
Yeah.
like in one of the best parts of town.
Up to 2,000 people. I have the article, but I don't want to put it up. there
It
'cause
wasn't
of
2,000
location.
people. That's highly
I
exaggerated.
feel like it was like 100
says
kids that were
up to-
like.
yeah, there
if
was
that.
probably like 100 kids that were acting crazy.
That's all you can fit on a bus anyway.
But they
Like,
did some property damage and
What,
stuff.
did they take 20 buses up there?
Yeah, this is really just like that mall not wanting a certain clientele in there.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that if you looked like you belong there, like if you went to the Catholic school that's right down the street, I feel like you probably wouldn't get hassled for not having your parent with you.
Actually, no, they do.
Oh, they do?
Yes,
How
I've
do you
seen
know? You didn't go to that Catholic school.
Well, no, I didn't go to that Catholic school, but
You don't
I
look like
mean,
you fit in that area.
I
Maybe she
definitely
sees them
don't.
getting hassled.
I do see him getting hassled.
Oh, do you?
Yes. Because me and my buddy went there like 2 weeks ago, and we were walking in, and we just started laughing because we're like, you're under 21, you can't go to the mall.
I mean, you could have been like,
they were
hey,
like-
they're with us. You could have been cool.
Yeah.
No, I mean they could have gave me money. Maybe then I would have like vouched for 'em.
Damn.
I'm not gonna just hook them up. I don't know them.
You
like
sound
that.
like the kind of person that buys kids, high school kids, beer in parking lots. Is what you sound like with that.
All right, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on that.
Not till she knows how much they're giving her first.
What do you mean? I
Everybody's
can't.
got a price.
I can't go out. I can't go out on Friday night. I gotta hang out in the 7-Eleven parking lot. It's prime beer buying time for the high schoolers. That's how I make my money. Anyway, so yeah, they were carting kids like as they were walking in.
It's crazy.
No, I mean these kids look
So they
like
have
they
'em-
came from money too.
They have them
after
posted
stopped.
at every entrance.
Every entrance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Even like so
I
like
can't fathom how much money that's costing.
so then my mind automatically went to I bet I could get in this mall if I was underage.
Oh yeah.
And so I started thinking, well, you just go in through like Dillard's.
Kids these days aren't clever anymore.
Yeah, so I was like, well, you'll just go in through Dillard's. So then I'm like, that's how I'm gonna do it. Then we walk past Dillard's. There's dudes standing at the fucking exit to Dillard's to the mall, like checking IDs for people coming out of there. It's
Even
like, no.
when you went through the restaurant,
Yeah, total
there was
fucking lockdown.
3 of them standing right there.
Total
part-
fucking lockdown.
The part that gets me is there is a movie theater attached to that mall, and
Yeah.
all those kids can be in that movie theater. Like
Yeah, well,
that's
yeah.
those rules don't apply to the movie theater.
Well, the movie theater isn't connected to the mall. It's just like attached
Yeah,
to the
it's
mall. You can't get to it from the mall, which is retarded. Like, why
Yeah.
are you gonna have a
yeah,
fucking?
but I mean, if you got 100 kids there wanting to cause trouble, and you push them all out, and they all go to the only place they can go,
No, there was cops there, like actual cops, like not fake security guards. They had like sheriff's deputies and like
so
city
who's-
cops.
you think the city's paying for this, or is the mall paying?
No,
for
the mall's
it?
paying for it. Has to be.
That's a lot of security for an unnecessary problem.
It is.
It is.
And we were there for like an hour, and we bought those T-shirts at Hot Topic.
Yeah.
Which come to like $30. So they lost money making sure I wasn't gonna cause a scene.
Did you on your way out find any random kids and be like, "Yo, want in real quick while I'm here"?
I
or-
didn't think about charging like she does.
Hmm.
If I had thought about that, I would have
Yeah,
made money
actually,
all day long.
There was
Think
3
about
adults
that.
chasing.
You could be
I know.
making
I
a
can
lot
get
of money.
like a
that-
little part-time job off this.
if
days
the
I can't
security
work.
only stays at the door, it's a 1-minute job. You walk them in, then you turn around and
Yeah.
walk back in.
Go
Now
out
you'll
a
have to
different
use
door.
a different door.
You go out
You're
door
not
and then
telling
come
the
back
same
in a different
cop.
door.
Yeah.
Every time these kids are with me. These kids are with me.
You
These
just
kids.
like make loops around the malls going in and out of the exit and bringing in
and
kids.
then draw up a plan.
Somebody asked Charlene, like, Charlene, what do you do for a living? I'm an escort. Oh, I didn't know you were in that. No.
No. I'm not.
I provide a service.
I'm just gonna start posting like Craigslist ads and Facebook Marketplace things, like
Anybody want on the mall?
you want some cigarettes? young children?
$5.
So we went back to the restaurant that I talked about a few weeks ago that I got shit for saying they said yeehaw all the time. We went back there yesterday. We got seated at the bar, whatever. It's fine.
Yeehaw.
With
my,
your kid?
No. He was at my sister's this weekend,
Oh,
so we
yeah, I
all
forgot
went out
about that.
yesterday, kid free. So we go there, and we go at like lunchtime. Like we go at like 1:30.
Okay.
So it should be
Should be
cake.
dead.
It's not. So that I'm sitting in the waiting room,
I
and
feel
they
like I
have.
explained that one though.
Yeah, probably because it was the day after Valentine's Day and people were catching up. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's
The
fine.
first weekend after Valentine's.
So they sit us in this waiting room that has this horrible drawing of Dale Earnhardt and Richard Petty driving
Yep.
fake hot rods,
I know the one.
Yeah.
and like all the perspectives are wrong. And it's very obviously like somebody just took a picture of these two guys and just painted them like
There-
not to scale.
There's no angle you can stand at that makes that picture look
no. And one of the tires is like flat on the fucking hot rod. It's like he's driving with a flat. It was like one of those fucking highlights. Find everything wrong with this picture.
good.
There's like 2 mountains in the background, and one of them is completely snow covered, and the other one is completely green. I'm like, is that the dividing line between like fucking temperate and fucking art? Like, what's
I think
happening?
you're putting way too much thought in it.
Well, I had to stare at the motherfucker for like 20 minutes. And it was just making me madder, and then I was taking the fucking like buzzer thing they were giving us and trying to fucking get it to change the fucking picture on the TV or this fucking picture itself because I was going fucking insane. Then they seat us there, and I ordered some potato skins because I enjoy potato skins. It's probably one of my favorite appetizers past a good onion.
Interesting.
They forgot the fucking sour cream.
That's crucial.
Never saw the waitress
Extremely
again.
crucial.
Like, did not see her until she brought
Well,
the
we
check.
saw her.
I
She was at
wouldn't-
the bar running around making drinks.
Yeah, they set us at the bar too.
I wouldn't
which
have
I
eaten
did
it.
not appreciate.
I'd have been like, you didn't bring me what I asked for.
So anyway, it's whatever. I just fucking did it. And then Amy picked the bacon off of all of them like a fucking vulture. Like, I move one to my plate and she pulls the bacon off of it. I'm like, I like bacon, bitch. Like, what are you... Anyway. I heard yeehaw, and I counted this time. Because I knew I got shit last time I said I heard yeehaw 21 times.
Oh, wow.
Counted. Yeehaw 21 times.
Didn't we hear like 3 birthdays go
Did you
off?
just keep a running count in your head, or did you have like a tally marks on the table?
If I couldn't have kept up, I was going to open my phone because I've got an app where you can tap it.
Can you imagine how terrible it'd be to work there?
That would be horrible.
That's true. We gotta do
Horrible.
that line dance. I forget what song they do the line dance to, but they get up and they have to do it, and they just all like.
I haven't seen
super
that. I would
obnoxious
fucking,
with it.
dude, I'd fucking quit. I'd hardcore quit. The
Any
first time.
job-
I
Nope,
assume
I'm out.
anybody who takes that job is at least a little bit into that aspect.
Like
Otherwise,
I'm here to serve food, or I'm here to be a bartender, or I'm here to be a cook, and now I got to come out and line dance like you're fucking monkey. Fuck off! I'm not doing it. I'm not line dancing. I'm not
But then
doing
again, like, okay, let's be honest. Anytime you get like a restaurant job, well, I didn't when I was worked in a restaurant, but most of them go back to the back. They probably just smoked a little hippie lettuce and came back in. So they're probably just like, fuck it.
No.
You don't think so?
I've smoked pot before, and it's never been like, hey, let's go line dancing right afterwards. Like, it's never made me do that. Like, it's never been like.
the line dance, I would smoke first. I think is what she's trying to say.
Thank you.
I would smoke, and it would make me realize I don't really need this job that bad, and then fucking leave. I was looking for a job, and I got this one. I'm out. Fuck you guys.
Line dance on the way out the door.
There are other steak restaurants where I don't have to belittle myself.
Just trying to think.
I don't know. I think so.
I mean, there's plenty in the area.
I mean, I don't know. Anyway, steak was good.
Well, Valentine's night, I took him out to one of the nicer steakhouses
No, you fucked up.
in the city, dude.
However,
it
the
was
story comes
awesome.
out, it was fucking.
There are no negatives.
Here's the problem. You
The
gotta do it again
service
next
was
year.
awesome. The food, everything we got was awesome. It was incredible.
We've never.
What restaurant did you go to? Can you say it?
It's a person's name, but not a woman's name and a guy's name. It's a guy's name and then a jewel.
Jack Ruby's are all over the place.
There's like
You can say
7
this.
of them.
Yeah, but they're
Oh,
all
okay.
over
There
the
you
place.
go.
Okay.
All over the place where everybody already has it narrowed down due to our accents. Let's put it that way. Yeah, so you're fine.
It was good.
No, I mean it's a good restaurant.
It
It's
was
like,
awesome.
how
I
long
had never been there before. She had never been there before. We had a reservation for 10:45 because
wow.
because that was the only one they had available when we went to make a reservation like 3 weeks ago.
So like
They had a 10:45 and
that
an
was
11.
like second dinner.
Pretty much.
I
sounds
mean,
like.
yeah. We both had to work that day, so we just kind of worked and came home, took a nap, ate, and then ate later.
Mm.
But there's been flooding downtown,
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
and like 2 streets over from where they are, it was shut down.
Oh, nice.
So we almost didn't get to do that.
Dude, but how romantic would it have been if you could have had one of those Italian guys with one of those stick
And a
boats
gondola?
fucking take you to the fucking
Yeah.
restaurant?
Oh man, that would have been sweet.
Yeah, you fucked up by doing anything for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day in my house is a non-holiday.
I mean, the last 3 Valentine's days, I've done nothing. So
oh. Yeah, but now she's going to expect it next year. She was expecting nothing, so this one's extra good.
you know, like
Problem is
I
next year
wouldn't
you gotta
mind
do
going to
something.
that place one. It was a little over. It was like $208.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. That place is expensive. I forgot about that.
Holy shit.
But
That's outrageous.
that was
That's a car payment.
that
you
was
just spent on food, man.
we
What
had
kind of car payments are you making?
Well, okay, a shitty car from a used dealer.
we had
Okay,
been
so
we
it's-
had been
yeah.
given a gift
Not-
card there for $150 as a gift, which
Oh.
is
No.
most of the reason we went there in the first
Oh,
place.
yeah.
That's awesome then. So
And then
Yeah.
because it was so much, we kind of didn't really like. We just kept ordering shit. We weren't really looking at what we were getting because
Yeah.
we knew it wouldn't be that bad. And so that price was like 4 drinks, an appetizer, 2 entrees, and 2 sides.
That's not bad.
It was a good time.
And I mean, you know,
I would recommend it to everybody to go at least once,
the tip
if
on
not
that's
once a
like
year. It was $40.
almost $50. Yeah. I mean, wow. I want to be a waiter there. I bet they don't make anybody line dance at that motherfucker.
We had 2 waiters. Like there's a main waiter and like an assistant waiter.
And
Was
the
he like in
assistant would be
training,
your-
or was he just like an assistant?
So the assistant waiter does like the cleaning and the refilling of cups and all the boring shit, and the main waiter just like talks to you and tells you what the food is and walks you through the dishes and explains things and hands you these giant menus.
Do they cook some of the food in front of you too?
No,
No, it's not
they
fancy.
didn't for anything we got.
That's embarrassing. Like, I hate that. Like it's why I never order fajitas, is because they come to you on that sizzling plate, and it's like then everybody in the restaurant's like looking around.
The only
Fuck
food I
that.
would really ever want made at my table would be like maybe a salad. Like salads are kind of
Fix
if
in
you
the
eat them
kitchen.
like immediately as soon as the dressing touches the lettuce is when it's best.
Well, you bring me the dressing on this side. Fine. You got a kitchen. That's where you make the food. You don't make it here.
But they got the big fancy bowl
I
and
don't
they
care.
throw everything in the bowl and stir it in front of you and look at all this shit I'm doing. Give me a
don't-
bigger tip.
Nah. I'll
You
give you
don't
more
want
of a
food
tip if you don't
performance?
like fucking come out to my
You just
table.
bring me my food and it's right.
Yeah.
Skip
Yeah.
the food performance, and your tip will be good.
Yeah. So fuck. I was gonna say. I don't remember what it was. I didn't have a lot happen this week, so I was kind of hoping that the large crowd would take some of the slack off of me, and then we don't have a large crowd. Because I hate everyone.
Mm-hmm.
If no one understands.
Also, everyone hates you if that's any
I mean,
consolation.
that. Not the people here. The people. Well, you can figure it out. Anyway. So I did have one thing happen at work that I've got to get into, which was pretty spectacular.
All right.
So
It's always good when it starts with
Yeah.
a sigh.
you know I've got Country Place Apartments,
I do.
and you know the caliber of people at Country Place Apartments.
Those people are in the news all the time.
Yeah, like
famous.
there's murders happening in
I
the
see
parking
stuff
lot.
on your route popping up in my news feed
Yeah.
daily.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm keeping in touch with you just because I see all of the goings on at
you
your
see me-
workspace
You see me in the background, like peeking around a box.
through the bushes.
So, you know, on Thanksgiving morning, a guy was shot in front of an apartment building, and then 2 days later, I had a certified from a place called Bubba's Furnishings.
For him?
No, for somebody that lived in that building.
Okay.
So I take it, knock on the door, nobody answers. I leave a notice
Yeah.
on the door.
Okay.
She calls the post office and yells and screams that I never came to her door. And
Pretty regular for our line of work.
it is, but it's hard to pull it off whenever the notice was retrieved from your door.
Yeah.
So she was asked, where did you get the notice that you put in your box? She said, no, I just left it on my front door. So they come to me on it, and they're like, what's up with this? And I was like, well,
And they're like, hey, Jason, we know you had this certified to attempt, so did you park your truck and walk all the way up to her door and silently leave that notice on the door and then sneak away so that you wouldn't have to talk to her?
it was Carla, and Carla used to be a carrier.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't fill out my notices here. I fill them out at the door.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes me longer
Yeah.
to leave a notice
Right.
than if somebody opens the fucking door and signs for it. It's more work for me to leave the notice at that
Yeah.
point because I don't write them out in the morning
'Cause
like some people
If
do.
they're there and they sign it, you don't have to fill out most of the notice.
Thank you. None of the notice.
Well, I mean, you have to I always write the address.
I don't do anything till I get there.
Yeah.
And then when I don't hear them coming, I start working on the notice.
Okay.
Because I want them to come get it so I never have to see it again. I never have to deal with this again.
Yeah.
This part of my life
it's
is
more
over.
work. Like, you've already done more work right now just listening to her ask you than
Yeah.
than what it would have taken
If
for
she
would
would've
have
signed it.
Right.
And then I leave it on the door. So like it's zero. Like there's zero benefit to me if I run up to the door, stick the notes on, and run off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'll take it back out to her today if she wants. But I'm telling you, I was there. I knocked on the door. So I take it back out. She's there. She's a little rude, a little snippy. And I pull the, I'm sorry you feel that way. Can I get you to sign here and here? I'm being super
I
professional.
wouldn't
and
have
nice.
apologized.
I said, I'm sorry you feel that way. I didn't apologize for shit. I feel bad that she feels that way.
Yeah, but you're also implying that she feels that way because you fucked up.
No. She
little bit.
feels that way, but she's
A
wrong.
little bit.
I'm sorry that you are wrong, is essentially what I was saying in my head.
I feel like that's not how she took it.
I don't care how she took it.
May have implied a difference.
Don't care how she took it. It's not going to be my problem in like a month anyway, because she got eviction letter the other day.
And she's not going to have a couch, so there you go.
Yeah, and Bubba's taking his couch back, which I feel like is what the certified's for.
Right.
And she really wanted it. It was really important certified. So exactly 1 month later, which would have been this week, she got another one from Bubba. He's
Okay.
still wanting his couch.
Yeah, or his money, either.
and it was super early in the day. It was like 8:30 when I got there, because I got there super early. And it was the day that school was delayed,
Okay. Yep.
so her roly-poly little shit's still home.
Hmm.
So I knock on the door, and I've got the thing, I've got a notice in case I need it.
Yeah.
I knock on the door, the kid opens the door, he's like, hey. And I was like, is your mom or dad home? I have it certified to my ass sign. Who's it for? So I tell him the first and last name. Oh, she's right here. And he points like somewhere like out of frame of the door.
Mm-hmm. And she's standing there like behind the curtain.
She's like 3 feet away.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
She's like 3 feet away. So he sits down and he says, Mom, mailman's here. He's got something for you. And he sits down on the couch, which is like 3 feet that direction. And she's like, she tells him to shut the front door. And I can hear from her voice, she's right fucking here. Like,
Yeah.
I can't see her, but she's right fucking there.
Okay.
Never addresses me. And he sits there, he's like, no, he's got mail for you. I said, shut my fucking front door. And he's like, no. And then she starts
I love
counting. 1, 2.
Furiously fumbling to get my phone out to record this so that when the woman calls in later and says you didn't knock on her door, you can be like, well, boss, I'm never going to this woman's door again.
I'm too dumbfounded. Like,
So you're not saying anything. You're not trying to yell at the woman.
well, she gets to 5, and this kid apparently.
I would've been
No,
like,
no, when
kids,
did it? No, when did like the warning change from 3 to 5?
Oh,
I
she
thought it was
went
always,
through.
you got to the count of 3 before.
No. It was
Right.
fine. He knows this
Mine
little
was
shit ain't
always
answering because
3.
he's a little shit too. Like,
Yeah.
he's basically like, fuck you, Mom.
his mother's
He's
son.
refusing. So I'm just like, all right, I don't. And then like she gets to 5, and then like it's just like it's like a Mexican standoff. The kid ain't doing nothing. I don't know what to do, and she ain't coming to the fucking door. And I'm like, what the fuck is? So I just start filling out the notice, and now the door's still standing wide open. So I look at the kid, and I'm like, I'm just gonna leave this here. And he's like, all right, I don't know, man. And he's like a fucking 7-year-old kid.
What the fuck?
So I like put it on the
Oh, man.
door
Yeah.
and walk off. I drive by and I look. That door is still fucking open. I serviced all the boxes. Like 25 minutes later, the kid has still refused to shut the fucking front door, and she's refused to get up and do it. And it was like 14 degrees.
Well, she's afraid you might be standing right outside the other.
I think so.
She's calling your bluff.
I think
She
so.
doesn't think
she
you
knows
left.
that you peek through the bushes.
She's waiting to spring that signature thing on her.
Yeah, so
I'm,
she didn't.
I'm guessing she didn't call in and complain.
No, she didn't call and complain this
Huh.
time.
That's funny.
But just like totally acted like I didn't exist.
Wow.
And then, God help me,
Wow.
this lady took all of her current resident mail and gave it back this week.
Like she's been collecting it.
Yeah.
Did
What
she
the
bundle it up for you in a rubber band
Nope.
and everything?
Nope. So like one of my parcel lockers, some of the heathens that live there have torn the door off of.
Oh,
Like-
that's fun.
Like fucking hulked the door right off.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's just an open square with no door, and she threw it all in there.
Oh,
So
Did you give it back to her?
yeah, every piece.
Good.
So when people return the current resident thing, do you just obnoxiously circle current resident and put it back?
That's
in
not
your mailbox?
obnoxious.
Because I'm like,
I'm assisting
clearly
them in their
somebody
non-reading ability.
fucking lives here because you opened the fuck.
First time you circle it. The
Okay.
second time you draw an arrow pointing to it.
Third time you do more than one
Yeah.
arrow.
Oh,
every
okay.
time after that's another arrow. If they don't get
Yeah.
it after like 4 or 5 arrows, maybe do like stars, squares.
Get a highlighter maybe.
Although you could fall back to my rule of it's too cold to be playing games right now, so you just mark the box vacant or have them pick it
Yeah.
up.
Vacant strip.
Just
I'm
leave
a
notice,
vacant
tell 'em to
stripping
come pick it up.
motherfucker.
It's
4 times.
It's their stuff. They are responsible for taking it.
Christmas time, cold weather, you're getting a vacant strip. Summertime, we'll play this game all summer.
Right.
But at sometime it's gonna run out, man.
I get paid to play these games. I love it.
Yeah. So one of the restaurants I worked at, I cut my middle fingertip off. Says half sack.
Is he talking about Jack Ruby's or is he?
No, he's saying one of
just-
the restaurants he worked at.
man.
I thought
Cut his
he was
middle
saying
finger
Jack
out.
Ruby's is one of the restaurants he worked at, and he cut his middle fingertip
No.
off there.
So I'm gonna need you to bump this audio down just a little bit. They're still complaining about clipping, and I don't know what to do.
is
No, no,
that
no.
since the
It
last
does
time on
sound
Twitch? Because I did turn
Oh,
it
you
loud
did
in
turn it
my
down
headphones.
a minute ago. Okay.
That's the
Alright,
only
cool,
reason
cool.
I was asking before
Cool,
doing
cool.
it.
Cool.
Yes,
Cool.
that comic strip is appropriate and only details that Jason is not actually apologizing when he's pretending to apologize.
Yeah, I loved this comic as a kid,
Yeah.
and that's what it made me think of.
So now that we're talking about just stupid people on routes, right?
Yep. That's pretty
Okay.
much what this show is.
Yeah.
Alright, so working on Kara's route
Okay.
yesterday, and I get to about the middle. We'll just say the middle because I don't know Diana. That's the
Okay.
road.
I mean, I don't know her route that well, but
Okay.
I know what you're talking
Well,
about when you're
it's
saying the
like-
middle. It's in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's like
Yeah.
fucking banjo season back there.
Okay, so this lady comes up to me and she pulls up next to me and she does a typical, "Will you come over here?" Nah, bitch, you can walk your happy ass over
Right,
here because
no.
I'm not getting out of my truck.
Well, I'm not coming over there.
Yeah.
Hang on. Before I forget, I had another story that I meant to fucking tell, and I
Alright.
forgot about it 3 times.
There you go. Tell
With
it. And
this
then
shit
we're getting
right
back
here.
Gel
This is the
pictures.
middle of a story.
My story,
but I'm
we'll
gonna
go
forget
back to the
again.
pictures. Alright,
She's super angry about it, and I'll forget about this again
All right.
because it was so fucking dumb. It's been erased from my memory twice, and then I would think about it and be like, I need to make a note on that. This motherfucker, who's this old man I've never seen before.
Okay.
I only see his wife. Rolls up to me on the day it was like fucking 10 degrees outside. And he pulls up and he rolls down his window. He's blocking the fucking road in my subdivision, and he goes. And I look at him, and he goes with his hand, like the come here, but
Mhm.
it's 2 fingers.
And you're waving your head no.
And I walk over there eventually,
What a
and I like
what a
exaggerate fucking all the steps, curbing the wheels, and I walk over there. And
Did he just like want directions or something?
I don't even say anything. I just look at him because I'm very annoyed with him.
Yeah.
You got email for Tucker? What? Where? Who? What's the first name? Is that the first name? Is that the last name? Where do you live? What do you want? And he tells me the address, and I said, I'm sure I do because I got a lot of shit in there. Do you really want me to go look for it?
Well, yeah.
I refuse to do that.
Yeah, I need my mail. I was like, all right.
No.
I was like, all right, I'll do it. But I've never seen you before, and I've been here 11 years. You need to get your ID for me. So I'll go get his stuff and his fucking Advo. And I walk back over, and he still doesn't have his ID yet. He's like, is something from the DMV in there? I don't know.
I would have said I'm not telling you till I see your ID. I don't know you.
And so, like, I look at it, and now this old man who is too crippled to fucking make a proper hand motion
Right.
can see from where he's sitting what he's waiting on ain't there.
Yeah.
He goes, just deliver it to the house. I don't want any of that. Rolled up
Oh,
his
God.
window and fucking drove off.
What?
What an asshole.
You know how much effort it's taken for me not to find a way to hold his mail every fucking day
That's
now?
exactly why I don't do that shit.
I mean, sometimes people come to me and it's like, hey, man, I'm leaving. I'm waiting on a check. Can you look and see if you got it? If you ain't got it, whatever.
I mean,
or if you ain't got
that's
time,
fine.
whatever. Like, I'll take it. But you come to me, bitch.
Right.
Like, you don't fucking hold me up and make me come back 3 and 4 times. We got email for Tucker. Like, first name, last name, what?
I would say I don't know, sir, and
Where?
then get back in and leave.
You know how many Tuckers live on this road? Y'all a bunch of fucking inbred fucks.
Right? Yeah. I have stuff for 73 Tuckers, sir.
It's like, oh, Smith, what?
Right.
Oh, your last
I
name's
have-
Johnson.
Just keep going.
Okay.
I have 2 Smiths on my route, and their
Just keep
address
going.
number is the same on 2 different streets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that gets confusing
Oh,
sometimes.
I bet.
Which one of you girls is gonna let the guy with the long hair fuck? He needs to tap that ass. Wait, why do these girls look the same as the guys? Like all 4 of you identical. Can we get a nay? You guys all together would make 1,000-pound family. Ugly whore on the right. I know you see me on the phone.
What does that even mean?
None of you shave your minges.
I don't have a minge.
This fat ass loser literally fused with his couch. There's not a couch in here, first of all.
Nobody's
So-
talked about a couch.
Wow.
You should, you know.
Dude, like this is the best you have?
Yeah.
Mitch,
Heroes
no.
that are like,
he's like,
man.
he's like,
Right.
fucking mirror.
Well, you realize it. People to fuck, and then they said that we looked like y'all, so that just means they're trying to be open about their gayness. They just haven't come out
We
yet.
look like them?
So they're trying to deal with that situation.
I got
and
you.
Well,
don't-
So maybe
internalize
he's the one
homophobia.
who fused. with his couch.
Uh-oh. I think he hacked my microphone because he said microphone is bugged. Yeah, I'm gay. Okay,
See?
so we're
I
just
figured
gonna
it out.
Okay.
we're just gonna move on.
That was easy.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
it's like 13.
Mystery
It's like
solved.
13-year-olds at this point.
It's 11:53. The kids are waking up.
Anyway, yeah. And I'm not gonna let you know which one I'm fucking, but it's one of them.
I'm
Figure it out.
gay, so there you go.
I would spark your ass
14.
square up. Whatever that means.
He,
What the
Oh, he's
fuck?
14.
Oh, they told us his
Damn.
age?
we
were close.
It's a version of Soldier Boy. It's his remix of Soldier Boy. I'm gonna spark your ass up, Soldier Boy. Anyway, so
I was concerned about the square. I don't want him making my asshole square. Like, what does that? He said ass square up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ban you because I don't give a fuck. Like you're
Yeah,
You're kinda, like,
Like,
worthless
clearly
to
you're
me.
trying to be
Like-
something. Who asks to be banned?
you'll either like you,
Yeah, I know. Half sack.
Half sack
Rick
said.
will have fun with this.
yeah. So it's like I'm just like you're nothing. So peg me.
They're just
Bring your
views.
on. I mean, it's not mine, but I mean, I have use of it.
I want to know who guy in the beard is.
That's me, isn't it?
Are you
Fuck
sure?
it.
Beard, I thought.
Oh.
Yeah, he did say long hair and beard, so there you go.
Yeah. Shut up, show me that pussy. What's uglier, you or the green doll? Which green doll?
That green doll is
That's
like. He didn't even know. He's just
No,
ignorant.
He's fucking 14 years old, man.
Go
How
learn
would he
some
know-
shit.
How would he know anything about Radfink? He has no idea.
He's never gonna know because the kids just jump on fucking Twitch
Come here,
instead of learning stuff.
come here, and let me dick you down. It is the last thing you heard.
What does that mean?
I think it means fuck you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
All
So
right,
now
well,
he's
come on.
definitely confessing that he is gay.
he's trying to fucking Chris Hansen me
Give it
because
a
he's
shot.
14 years old.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna show up and. Yeah, I have cancer. I'm glad you brought that up. Speaking of which,
I thought we were keeping that a secret till the next show.
No, I have terminal ass cancer.
Is it because your asshole's square?
Yes, I have been pegged too many times. My ass is.
Aren't pegs normally round though? Like I don't know.
These ones were special.
So
ones.
he told me about work with
Oh
likes
yeah.
to get pegged. I don't
Would- a collection of
That
pegs.
It just really comes.
he probably
to be a
right.
peggy.
For the
Be-
record,
just
that
because
was,
of how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very manly.
for the record, that was Kara that told you about it. I just confirmed.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the
so you had a
fact
story. You were in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
On
it's in the
Kara's
middle of
route
nowhere,
yesterday.
And so she like, so she stops me, pulls up next to me, and gives me the whole number. Hey, come over here. And so I just act like I'm,
Yeah.
I have no legs.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And so she comes over.
very slowly.
Yes. So she comes over to me and she's like, so I don't know if you're the lady the other day that picked up my pictures, but I sent off these pictures and they got down to the correctional facility and they told me that they were soaked in liquid and the girl I handed them to, I don't know how she would have got them so like blaming this all on Kara. And I'm thinking, do you not realize it's not like Kara personally delivers every
No,
piece
she
of
does.
mail?
They
like,
hand you the thing, and then you drive it to where it's going.
oh, so if something goes to Alaska, they fly us to Alaska.
No,
I didn't
no,
know
you
that.
drive to Alaska. What are you
Oh,
talking
my
about?
bad.
Yeah, there's no flying. It's all
Yeah.
driving.
No, we don't own a fleet
Yeah,
of
so
airplanes.
she's like, but she couldn't like grasp the concept that maybe it wasn't Kara, and holy shit, there's like 1 million people that work for our company.
Yeah.
I feel like there's people on Kara's
Like-
route that, like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure Kara's a nicer version of herself when she's carrying, but
Oh,
I'm
no,
sure
she's-
there are still people
Yeah.
who she grates with who probably hate her.
Probably, but she's definitely phone Kara when she's like out.
Oh
and
yeah,
around.
she is. It's so like.
Have you ever heard her
overdone.
answer the phone?
No.
It's amazing.
Oh, never mind. I can't even do the voice.
Ring, 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 ring.
Hi, this is Kara.
Hi. No, I think I was trying. I don't recognize you.
No. If she recognizes the number, she's like, "What do you want, fucker?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
But no, so she's just like bitching about this because I guess she probably sent her dude some nudes or something through. Like,
And
to
she
the jail.
probably sent them in just a regular envelope that
Yes.
you can't send pictures
And she's
in.
like, "Well, where are my pictures?" And I'm like,
and they
"Well,
picked up literally one drop of water somewhere, and then that soaked all the pictures, and now that dude's spank material is fucked up for a month,
Yeah. No. They.
and it's Kara's fault.
those pictures come
Way
back
to go, Carol.
constantly because like people in the trashy part of town we work in will send nudes to their like boyfriends or whatever in prison,
Yeah.
and that's not allowed. There's like no nudity allowed, so those
Yeah.
pictures will come back like where the envelope's all been torn open and then like half-ass taped back. Nude pictures not allowed will be stamped on it. And then like you can still see everything because of the way they tore the envelope up. It's like, oh god,
What?
I think that's one of those rules that exist just because it legally has to. I don't think anybody sees a nude picture and then sends it back where it came from.
No, they send it back where it came from. Like,
Really?
They refuse it. Yeah,
No
because
shit.
the guards go through everything that comes in, and if they see a picture that has any nudity of any kind in it,
Really?
return to
I
sender.
thought that was just a
refuse.
thing they said, but they still
Nope.
passed it on. That's
Nope.
shitty. Why?
Well, you can't have dudes in prison getting nude pictures. Or they're
Why
gonna be
not?
punished. I don't know, Bruce.
That's what I'm saying. There's no reason for that to not be a
You're
thing.
supposed to know.
But through all this whole process,
legit-
I don't even think I apologized to the lady because I was just like, I just felt like I was arguing with a 12-year-old kid, and I was just like, all right,
I wouldn't
have a
have
good day.
apologized either. Tell her next time,
No.
send them in a padded envelope, and that won't happen.
But it was annoying because I'm like, why are you holding up my day over some wet pictures that I obviously do not have? I don't know where your pictures
And
are.
you had nothing to do with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't want your nude
You
pictures.
should have told her you kept them. Oh, they're by my bed now. Sorry, I'll bring
I
those
thought
back.
it was a gift to me.
I thought
Sorry, those did
thought I
not
could-
make it to the prison, and also they did not get rained on.
You
Sorry.
okay, Bruce?
There you
I
go.
am now.
I don't know how she would have. Well, I mean, I guess it. Yeah, never mind. I could see ways it could work where they would still get wet. Yeah. No. Okay.
That was the joke.
Yeah. I mean, it took me a minute to get there, dude. I don't
Thanks,
know what to
Jason.
fucking tell you. Sorry. Anyway.
Do you still have the 12-year-old
now
kids
it's
trying
really
to troll
awkward
us?
'cause she's
No,
still looking
no,
at me.
They gave up? Okay.
No, that's what you do. Is you just when they come on, you engage with them for a minute so they
And
get
they're-
attention.
And then they get mad because you're not giving them the reaction you want, right?
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
getting upset or
Oh.
bothered by it, so they.
They're just mad
Kinda
because they're
move
not
on.
a local celebrity like me.
I don't think
I
they
think
knew that.
14-year-olds these days only have
Yeah.
like a 20-second attention span.
They did
anyway.
call you a whore.
If we
They
haven't
did?
engaged,
Cool.
which one?
You.
I'm a whore, yes.
Yeah, they called you a whore.
Oh.
And then they called one of us transgender. I'm not
Yeah.
sure who they meant with that.
I mean, I do work a strap-on pretty
think
well.
that would be
so we
me.
can- I guess I can
Oh, you're the
consider myself
transgender?
Yeah, I'm the transgender.
I would beat the shit out of your girlfriend, and you won't do shit.
Transphobe.
Apparently, this guy has never heard any of my stories where he thinks I won't do shit because I randomly get in fight with everyone over nothing.
Yeah.
I'll run these kids down like I did the last set.
I,
Oh,
I
wow.
think they've already left.
Yeah, they have. I'm sure. Good. Again,
Good riddance.
you know that's what you do. Is you.
So,
Or just
Engage
invite
with
him
them
to
for a
another
second.
show.
No,
hey,
I got
we
it.
want you to come on this show. Come on this one. Like Halfsack did.
Give us somebody to yell at.
Yeah. Well.
See, these kids don't understand. Like me and you, we're just looking for somebody to shit on.
Yeah.
Pretty much 24/7. And usually it has to be like us shitting on each other because there is nobody else.
Like, here's the thing: is like you can't make fun of me harder than I make fun of myself.
Right.
Like I already have the lowest
I
opinion.
welcome
of
all
myself.
challengers.
yeah.
And it's so great to me when somebody calls me old or fat because it's like, bitch, I'm bulletproof on those two. Like I own a mirror. I made this happen. Believe it or not. Like I know what I am.
I can see myself in video right now as I'm talking to you.
Oh, wow.
I don't need you to tell me physical things about myself that I can see.
And then like the old, it's like yeah, like I have managed to make it this far. Correct.
Good luck, kid.
Everyone gets old unless you don't, and trust me, it's better to get fucking old.
Right.
Anyway, oh, so they really should come back for a half sack.
Yeah. He's
They
dead
won't.
serious. He wants them to come back.
Yeah,
if
they
if
won't.
either of y'all who have pretended like you left but you're secretly still listening now because, you know, come on back when Half Sack is on. And
First Friday of
what do you say?
March.
First Friday of March.
Yeah, I mean,
10 a.m.
sometimes
he
he
will
needs
interact with
content.
you all in
Yeah.
ways that you couldn't even dream.
Oh,
Yeah.
Little Rick will have fun too. He'll love it.
And nobody cares about our horseshit content. Is this content? Is that what we do here? Is that what we've been doing for 5 fucking years?
I mean, these two guys care enough to randomly
I'm
show up at
sorry.
our channel and
Yeah.
talk to us. Two people we don't even know.
That it's horse shit, not horse.
Or
shit.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to correct your
So-
vocabulary there.
It's like a dwarven cuss.
Going
It's
back
like
to Kara, she's so fucking random that she calls me and she goes, "So did you see anything interesting on my route, like horses fucking?" And I'm like, "Why is it the first thing that you say to me? Is did you see any bums, some crackheads getting in a fist fight, or horses fucking?"
She jumps straight to the. She doesn't need foreplay. She's right into
I know,
the
she's
whatever
like-
the
she-
meatiest material is.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
she's
she
on it.
needs
The first day,
the chaos.
the first day that like I went and shadowed with her though, I did see donkeys fucking, and I was like,
On her route.
"Yes, it was
Huh.
just the most fucking random shit
Oh,
ever."
that's probably why she said that then, because you saw it, because she was making a callback to that.
Yeah, I guess it's something that's just stuck in her memory.
I
How many
did
donkeys
see.
she got on her route?
I don't know. I
There's
just
a few. I did see two random like fancy dogs, like what do you call them, the half poodle shaggy looking things that are like this tall. Anyway, they were fucking on my route, and one of them was like practically standing. Like instead of doing like the over the back, he was like standing. Like he almost had his hands on his hips. I was like, that dog is impressive. He's got some balance issues going on.
I'm sure he's a very expensive dog.
Yeah, probably. And I feel like they were probably brother and sister, so that litter's shot.
Anything that's specifically half poodle by design is going to be an expensive dog.
Eh.
It's also going to be an angry, shitty dog, but that's neither here nor
I
there.
mean, a lot of dogs are shitty dogs.
It's something about poodles. I've never met a poodle that I didn't hate.
And chihuahuas.
Hey.
Chihuahuas
now.
are bitey as fuck.
That's true.
They're
I just
evil
mark that up to
little
them being
Napoleon
small. Like
complex
all
shit.
small dogs are kind of like that.
Evil Napoleon complex little shits.
Kahlua loves you. He just
No,
doesn't
he
like it
doesn't.
when you're around me or mom.
He's fucking bit me numerous
That dog
times.
looks so bougie.
Alright, so, what do y'all say we take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
I think it's pee time.
Yeah, I need to cry after those kids attacked me and called me a whore.
It's true.
Called you a whore, called her transgender. They
Yeah.
just called me old and fat.
But
Like, I'm
I
fine
think they
with
have
that.
it really confused because I'm the one that wears a strap on, so can we call me the transgender
You
one?
don't know what Jazz
That
does.
makes more
True,
sense.
True.
Also, that makes even more sense.
Stop assuming Jazz's preference in sex toys.
Okay, my bad.
Alright.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Readings over Kansas that were very pleasant today. However, we are looking for a new front to begin to drift south and eastward. The central and eastern parts of Kansas will very probably be cloudy in the morning, and then western Kansas will begin to get increasing cloudiness by tomorrow afternoon. Today, however, very, very pleasant reading. 73 up in the Goodland area, 72 at Garden City, 70 reported by Dodge City and Liberal, 72 over by the good folks of
And the mics are live again. We are back.
Mainly because Barks Red Cream Soda is like the best soft drink that's ever been invented.
It's not good in diet form. I did like it when I was
Nothing is good in diet form,
Well, you just gotta get used to it, man.
especially people.
Well, I'm thinking about going on it. Those guys really got to me, calling me fat, calling her transgender. I don't know what you're gonna do because
Have
you're
you-
actually female. I
Have
don't-
you thought about being any younger? Because they called you old too.
I have actually.
Being younger sucks.
I don't know how is my issue. How do you get younger? I don't know.
You learn the secret to Freaky Friday and figure out how to do that?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Eat the youth.
But then I'd
consume
be
their souls.
Avery, which is the issue.
Not if you do the Freaky Friday thing with someone that's not Avery. It doesn't have to be family.
Anyway, welcome back to the show formerly known as Out for Delivery. I'm this week's host, After Lunch Jason, and actually I'm every week's host, After Lunch Jason. Joined by a little bit of a light crew, but not really. We got Charlene of wrestling fame.
I won't wave this time. Hi
Thank you.
again.
Thank
Hi.
you for not waving to the mic.
Alright.
Hello.
The
Good to
vast
see you,
majority of
Charlene.
our audience is in podcast form, so we have to lessen the visuals. However, before we were broadcasting live, we did have a gentleman who would routinely wave at the mic when he was introduced, like somebody could see him doing it other than the people in the room. We have Jazz is back with us again, running everything, who was called transgender during the last segment.
I work with a
thought she was the
transgender. I'll take
transphobe.
it as a compliment.
Wait a minute.
I assure you, you do not look transgender.
How did they call her a transgender and a transphobe?
No,
How is
the
she-
other guy called the other tro a transphobe.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The trolls started fighting with each other.
Oh, that's all.
Not really.
Productive.
It was fake fighting, I'm
I
sure.
don't know.
And then we've got Bruce,
Howdy.
who was something called fat,
I don't probably.
something like that. And then me, who was called ugly and fat and old.
The words a 14-year-old says to me disappear almost as soon as they enter my brain.
Well, you know,
so
if he
I
said
can't-
he was 14, he was probably actually like younger.
11?
than that. He's probably,
12.
like
Yeah.
11 or 12. Yeah. His vocabulary matched that of most of Xbox Live in the early 2000s or late 2000s.
Honestly, I'm kind of concerned for that dude if he is 14. Like, you're at the beginning of, like, you should be out doing things right now.
Sunday morning. Where's he gonna go?
Something more, I don't know.
Trying to sneak in
You got
a
a car.
girl's room, or you know what I mean,
Sunday
smoking
morning.
pot.
He's
something.
14. Dude, the
Breaking
last place in
an
the world I
offense,
would have
I don't
been
know.
on a Sunday morning at 14 is Twitch watching literally random people and making fun of them.
Well, you're also old.
I would have done it when I was 11, though. I am old.
Twitch
And
didn't
fat.
exist, and neither did YouTube. Or all you had was Nicktoons, son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on
No,
Sunday morning, you were sitting home watching random Nicktoons, talking shit about Angelica.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. On Sunday morning, I was probably still asleep.
Running your mouth about Cat Dog.
Oh, Cat Dog was the shit.
Anyway, I never liked Cat Dog. It was
Didn't really
before my
make
time.
sense. I didn't understand how
Or
he
was
went to the
after my
bathroom.
time.
And that aspect of it bothered me so much that I couldn't
I think it was like that episode of South Park.
pay attention to anything else on the show.
They just pooped out each other's mouths. I believe is the way it worked out.
I mean, the digestive system only flows one way,
Yeah.
so they both ate.
Yeah, we had a big discussion during a D&D session recently when we were fighting the big boss in the last campaign. Was a huge beholder, and it was built to scale. Did you see a picture of that?
No.
Oh, it was a beholder that like scale figures are like usually 1 inch tall.
Okay.
1 inch equals 5 foot. So
that's cool.
we fought a beholder that was like this, like probably like 12 inches. Like it was a massive
Wow.
fucking beholder. And then we had a big argument table.
Was it supposed to be big in the
No, it was
game,
to scale.
or was
It
it
was
just
to
this person had a giant
No, no,
beholder
no.
and they were like, "We're gonna use this one"?
He
No,
made
he
it
made it,
specifically
yeah,
Okay.
for
to
this
scale.
battle.
Okay. It was like a mega beholder.
Yeah, but then there was a huge argument about what a beholder's digestive tract would work like, because one of the guys that's playing a goblin rogue went into its mouth intentionally to blow it up from the inside. And then there was a huge argument about where's the butthole, like what happens, where's the intestines, because the mouth was at the bottom. Does it go up? What happens?
I mean, if you're gonna blow it up from the inside, you'd want to do it from the stomach. I would feel like
you'd wanna
that's
go
the
as
most
deep as you
central
could,
area,
yeah.
not all the way to the
Yeah.
asshole. That's a little far.
Yeah, that was
That's
it.
it.
Yeah, that's the one Chris made.
I,
And
I mean, I guess it's just out the back of his head.
I don't know, man.
At the back of his head, there is a hole for him to put a light so that
Yeah.
all you see is the eye glowing when you turn the lights off.
Well, maybe that's where it comes out of. It's a multi-purpose hole.
It's possible, I guess.
There you go. See, he built it.
I don't
with
like
the hole.
The beholders float.
Yeah, they float.
There's a lot of things physically that don't make more sense than not having an asshole.
Yeah. And you can't see me because I'm riding one of the tentacles because I played a monk in that campaign who did not give a fuck about anything, and he was a halfling. And his name was Caps, and nobody ever asked me about the names, and it was because he takes fucking kneecaps. Nobody ever got it.
Oh.
The whole fucking
I
campaign.
just thought it was like cute for captain or something.
No.
I just thought you generated a random name.
No. It was because it was a halfling monk, and he collected your fucking kneecaps. Yeah, I'm up there on the side.
That's his cape.
How,
That
how,
sharp
how does
corner
someone jump in? How does a beholder not see someone jumping in? It's like he's got 53 eyes.
Oh, it saw it. He tried eating out.
there. Yeah.
Oh,
And
so the
then-
beholder did it, not the
Yeah,
dude.
he,
I thought you
like-
meant the dude purposely jumped in there.
He
he
was like,
kinda
eat
did.
me. He was Tommy Lee Jones, like, eat me, fucker.
Oh, okay.
And
So is
then,
it totally a Men in Black?
yeah, and then he like dexterity checked his way into the mouth past the teeth whenever the attack happened. Yeah, and then he had like this huge bottle of gunpowder that he then enlarged with a spell because he was an arcane trickster, and then shot it with his one pistol with one shot. It was kind of a Hail Mary pass that happened to work.
Oh, I'm glad that worked.
Yeah, and then recently, so in the new campaign that Jazz is running, I'm playing a warlock. And there's the same guy that played that rogue is playing a very devout cleric who hates
Does he
warlocks,
not roll with warlocks? Yeah.
and he keeps calling me a witch. And like, I am not admitting that I'm a warlock in the game world. Like, everybody knows I'm a warlock, but I'm not admitting it. So I'm all the time like trying to pretend like
Denying it?
the Eldritch Blast come from somewhere else.
Aren't you on his team?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're in the same party.
So, like, he can clearly see your...
I'm trying to do it like stealthy. Like, I'm like stepping like out of the line of sight and then casting it. I was like, what the fuck?
Why?
Because it's fun in the game.
There's a spider that has thunderclappers. Don't worry.
Okay.
Because, you know, in the game, like, I'm trying to pretend like I'm not a warlock so that, like, I don't have to put up with shit from this cleric. So, anyway, he's giving me shit constantly. He's constantly casting, like, good and evil on me and trying to pull Zone of Truth on me and shit, and I'm just, you know, evading all of this. So we're walking through town, and, like, so the backstory that's been written for me, because I don't write backstories, but if the DM wants to write them for me, I'll make them work, is that I was raised as an orphan. So I'm looking for, like, street kids walking through town so I can give them some money and some food and maybe have them be lookouts for me at some point in the future. And I'm like,
He's
I'm-
building a homeless
Be like
army.
Varys's little birds.
yeah, exactly, is what I'm going for, because, you know, I'm a warlock. I don't have to be good. And so I'm like looking out for these kids and shit. And they're like, why are you looking for kids? And I'm like, don't worry about it, man. And so they go in a shop and I don't go.
Wait a minute, so they don't know your backstory?
No.
No.
No,
You can't
nobody
be
knows.
like, because I was homeless and I feel bad for kids.
I'm not going to.
Why are you hiding information from your teammates? I don't understand this.
I don't trust any of them. In life or in the game.
So how can you fight next to him if you don't trust him?
Well, I
Some
didn't,
of
it
them
wasn't
he
my
doesn't.
intention.
One of them runs away most of the time.
Yeah, there's yeah, Chris like fighting will happen and he'll just like leave. He'll like drop a lantern and be like, I'm gonna set up a distraction and leave the room.
Apparently, his character doesn't do spiders well, and my first dungeon had quite a few spiders, and apparently he walked in, saw the spider, said nope, went back to the main room.
So they
just
go
left.
in a shop to get something done, and I'm chilling outside. And I'm like, I'm not gonna go in. I'm just gonna chill outside. I don't. It's stuffy. It's warm in there. And then I see a kid go around a corner and into an alley. So I go like give the kid food, and then they all like catch me doing it, and they're all yelling at me for giving a kid food.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let me get this straight. I shouldn't feed like hungry kids. Like, where are we at here, Christian evangelical? Like, what are we doing now? Are we not feeding hungry people? Am I a bad guy here for? Yeah, but it's like,
Your money has to go to supporting the church. The church will worry about the kids,
Anyway.
Jason.
so it's gonna be fun. Like, people were Like, we were getting nothing done because me and the cleric just fucking bickered the whole session, which is what I like about D&D. It's just like fake arguing.
Yeah.
I love any form of arguing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm aware.
So, like, I'm fake arguing. Like, you don't know I'm a prove I'm a warlock. I'm not a witch. Prove it. Prove it. And everybody got something special, so I have...
Don't warlocks have, like, summons?
Yeah, at higher levels. I'm level
okay.
1. I'm level 2 now.
We've had two
I thought it was
sessions of
like
this
WoW,
campaign.
where they just start with one.
No. I mean, I can get a familiar, I can get a pact blade, or I can get a tome at level 3, but I can't summon demons to like level 5 or 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's going to explain that one away. Summon a demon. Just listens to him for some reason. No, I didn't summon that demon.
Yeah, he just showed up out of nowhere.
He just
I
listens
don't know
to
why
me
he
just
listens
because.
to me.
Somebody fucking pulled an ad, assholes. Y'all need to watch your fucking...
No.
aggro.
He's
No.
not-
Kid was actually secretly a demon, and then now he's just following you.
Yeah, he's now attached.
Anyway, it's turning out to be a really good game. Jazz has got like tons of story going on.
I don't
I'm
understand
super
how you
excited.
all can do any fighting if one of your members runs away and then you and another guy are fighting each other.
No. When me and the cleric like are like fighting something, like we're working together as a fucking team. Like we're taking the thing down. But afterwards, like I saw you casting dark magic.
I'm glad you
How
helped,
could you? How
but
could
I
you
saw
deny
this.
it?
It wasn't me. Prove it was me.
I think it's funny when he says that he's going to do that attack because he just hides his mouth and goes, I use Eldritch Blast. And like everyone at the table can hear it, but it's like in character they're not supposed to know.
Yeah.
It is just hilarious.
I
That's
cast
awesome.
Hex the other night. I was like, I'm casting Hex. I'm gonna move my Hex.
That nobody knows was from him.
Yeah.
Just like the
Every time it
spider.
happens and like it kills someone, I'm like, what? Who did that? What happened?
Yeah. Where'd that come from? What was that?
So when he's like, "So what did you do that round?" You were like, "I just nothing," and then
Well, no, I
something
haven't-
got hexed.
no,
it wasn't me.
I do a lot of regular attacks too, because warlocks in D&D aren't like warlocks in video games. They're not like pure spellcasters. They're like half and half. They're like half fighter, half spellcaster.
What's the weapon of choice for a warlock?
Quarterstaff, any one of the simple weapons. Everything but like a sword or a crossbow, basically.
And they get proficient at that?
Yeah, they're proficient on simple weapons.
Oh.
So they get the bonus. You ought to come out to a session. Jazz will write you into a session. There's lots of sessions she's got planned where people are going to come in for just one like
Yeah.
part.
When y'all do it Thursdays?
Yeah.
Thursdays at
Still
6.
down the road here?
No, we do it here.
Here at the house.
Here?
Yeah, here. Not in this room. We do it in the other room.
Yeah. In the big house.
Yeah, we do it in the because this would all get in the way of everything.
Oh yeah.
If we don't end up going anywhere this week, I'll do that. We have plans on going to Chicago.
Well, I don't know if we can write you in this week's the issue.
Oh, okay. Well then,
I mean, it would
don't
be
worry about
down
it.
the
Just
road.
Whenever.
Plus, she would have to
I
work
didn't-
on
I-
who
yeah,
you
no,
are.
I didn't.
and-
I didn't realize how much work that makes. But yeah, no, at some point in the future. Anyway, we were planning on going to Chicago this week.
Yeah, you going?
And we hadn't made any reservations or anything. And a few days ago, I'm sitting there and I look at the weather, which is not a thing we had done previous to a few days ago. And it was like 8 degrees at the time
Seems cold.
in Chicago.
Well, you got
with
that-
with
that
a wind
lake
chill of
weather.
like 0.
Yeah, you got that lake
So
effect. You
we're
got that-
probably not going to do that.
I would not go to.
We're
a
probably
place that
still
was
going to
0.
go somewhere, but not Chicago.
You want a suggestion?
As long as you don't say somewhere in. Yeah,
Not Gatlinburg.
that's okay. Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Or, yeah.
Yeah, and that's my suggestion.
Good suggestion.
Not Gatlinburg. No,
I mean, this is a low time of travel. I would think anywhere we went would be fine. Even Gatlinburg should be empty right now.
I feel like this week Gatlinburg may be crowded with people that went there for a cabin vacation on Valentine's Day week.
Yeah.
That's probably
Yeah.
true.
I feel like there'd be a lot of people there for that. I mean, if I was you, I'd go to, nowhere. There's nowhere I can think of. IKEA.
Yeah, go up to Cincinnati,
Yeah.
go to IKEA.
Or Indianapolis.
Yeah.
That's
More
a whole
liable to
day
get
just
shot.
walking through that one
Yeah.
thing.
We're thinking about
Go to Jungle
Indianapolis.
Gyms too if you go to Cincinnati. Remember I told you about that place?
Yeah,
It's awesome.
that place does
foreign
sound like
grocery store.
heaven.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to
Kim
Indianapolis.
would love that place too.
We get shot in Indianapolis.
Really?
Yeah.
More than I'd get shot in Chicago. No.
Well, Chicago, the shootings are like segregated to certain areas.
I
Like,
mean, we stayed in downtown last time, but it was
Yeah.
downtown business district.
yeah.
We didn't have a problem though. They were
Um,
homeless, like on the street at nights, but I guess that's just a thing there.
I found a beanbag last night that cost $1,000, but it's big enough for you to sleep on.
I mean, I could buy a decent bed for less than that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
So why?
Is it a beanbag that comes out of the case and turns into a bed?
No. You got to put the beans in it. It's $1,000. It's like a huge thing. It's like bigger than this table.
Yeah, you know, Mom has 2 king-size beds that are stacked on top of each other. They're actually beanbag chairs that were made. Like, it's this kind that my grandpa has one too, except his isn't king.
You're gonna have to
they were
elaborate because
originally.
this sentence isn't making any fucking sense.
Originally, they're beanbag chairs. They're sold as beanbag chairs that can turn into beds. There's a case around the bed. You squish it into it, and it looks like a beanbag chair, feels like a beanbag chair. When you unzip it, if you spread it out, it turns into a bed.
Huh.
Yeah, but this is like 4 foot tall.
Yeah, when
It's,
you
like,
stack 2 of these
massive.
fuckers on top of each other, it's 4 foot tall too.
I'm just saying, like this one, like when you jump in the middle of it, like you sink down into oblivion, like you're gone
Yeah,
forever. It's like
that's-
beanbag quicksand.
Imagine a king-size bed rolled up into a ball.
Okay.
How big do you think that would be?
I don't know. I'm
Probably
having
about the
trouble
size of
imagining
yours.
this. I'm having trouble imagining this.
Y'all might actually be talking about the same thing.
That's
Have
why
you,
I'm-
have you considered
yeah,
that?
That's why I was asking if that's what that was, because he doesn't know it, but he's seen that before, just not in beanbag form. If it's the same thing.
I don't think I've seen your mom or your granddad's bed, either one.
Grandpa's is in the room as soon as you walk in the house because it's for the dogs to lay on.
I don't remember seeing it. I'm not saying I
It's
didn't,
okay.
but
It's just it's fancy for the dogs.
so he has a bed just for the dog.
Yes, except he leaves it beanbag style for him.
Okay, that's nice of them, I guess.
No.
Anyway, you could always go to.
Never really got into beanbags.
You could always go to. I don't know, man. It's like the middle of winter. I don't think any place is fun right now.
Yeah.
Somewhere like way south, I'm sure, but I don't.
Do you really want to go way south?
I don't want to be hot again.
Like that's close to Florida.
Yeah.
There you go. It's a ginormous fucking
No, this
beanbag
was bigger
chair.
than that. Like,
There
it
is
was-
no relative size. You have no idea how big that is. What
I
do you
can
mean?
I
That
can
could be
sense it.
15 feet tall.
No, I sense it.
It's bigger.
Look up the ones I'm talking
Here,
about. They're called.
Jazz-
That
For
sounds
scale.
Like something not.
I know.
I'm not sure.
How do you think I wound up there? No, for real. Look up the love sack. Bring up the big mean bag, the big $1,000 one, where it's got a woman. Unless this is a midget woman, it's possible it's a midget woman. It looks like the most comfortable
Hey,
Hold on,
thing.
is
guess
it
what
coming
the
from
first
China?
fucking picture
no,
is?
no.
The first fucking picture.
What?
That one.
Is that a love sack?
That is the
Tin,
first
roof.
picture that came up when I typed in love sack
Rusted?
beanbag chair.
Yeah.
Just
That.
search just love sack. Here, I'm
It's
gonna
a
do it. Let me
love
see what-
sack, baby.
comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is about as. This is the one I think we're talking about the same thing.
Rock lobster.
Because there's the picture I think you want, if it'll
What?
come up.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
It was
same
like
one.
that. Is that the exact same one for real?
Yeah.
That is a tiny woman though, because
Is
that
it?
that beanbag does look much bigger
Well,
than the one in
yeah.
the other picture, even though
My foot would probably be on the
there
floor.
is no scale.
You know,
Oh,
laying
I don't
there
want
a little
that.
bit.
I
But
want one that
if I
swallows me
sit-
whole.
This is like.
But if you get it right, it probably will swallow you whole if you get the king size one.
Yeah, I definitely want one that swallows me whole.
But I mean, who has $1,000 to spend on a beanbag chair?
I spent stupider money on stupider things.
I'm spending lots of money on my leg right now because I'm getting my tattoo done.
Oh yeah, she's got.
Yeah, that's the only thing I've got going
You
this
should
week
show
so far.
off your leg,
see
which
it.
is not. Oh.
No, but I'm doing a sleeve of Jonah Vasquez stuff. So Invader Zim, Johnny the Homicidal-Maniac, Squee, a lot of unknown writings, but Invader Zim is more
I love
commonly
Squee.
known. I love Squee. I only have black and white done so far.
There we go. She's gonna try it anyway.
Yeah. And I've got Squee here.
Oh, that's so cool.
And it goes all the way to
You should have
the choke
switched
point.
the camera over.
I'm
That's
yeah.
really good.
It's same girl does mine.
Good shit.
Yeah, I probably have like 3 more sessions.
So is the main picture done, or is it going all the way around, or
It's
what's?
gonna go all the way around and all the way up to about here.
Holy shit!
And all of Invader Zim characters will be popped out because they'll be in color.
Huh.
And then we're doing the panels for all the other stuff.
That's neat.
The next session, she's going to start on the back and freehand a bunch of stuff to tie it together. And like in his comics, he writes between the comic strips. She's going to go back after we have all of it done. And she's left spaces between the comics so that we can represent that too.
That's gonna be cool as shit.
I'm super excited.
And you're gonna get your tax money back.
like it.
Go get more tattoo.
Yes.
I'm sure that is what that's for.
It's a lot of my plan. Some of it.
What other plans you got?
Saving it like I do every year.
That's boring.
I save it for Christmas.
It's
About
definitely boring. You
other
should blow all the
people's
money as
stuff.
soon as you get it.
You know, I usually save it until Christmas time
On
and spend it
beanbag
on
chairs.
everybody else.
Yes, you should perhaps buy us a beanbag chair.
Giant beanbag chair.
We're gonna come in one day to record, and everybody's chair will be here, and then Jazz's will just be a giant beanbag chair, and she'll just be sitting in it like nothing.
Just, yep, this is my
What's
chair
up,
now,
guys?
y'all.
This is my
I'm
chair.
curled up.
Nobody's allowed to use this chair. I'm gonna be here every week, so it's my
I
chair.
am my mother's daughter, and we have seen her curl up in a dog bed before.
She did get drunk and go to sleep in dog bed one time.
So if
That
I
really
bring
happened.
a beanbag chair in here and curl up, I can just say it's a genetic
Was that
thing.
was that the same day as?
No, this was a completely different day.
That's a completely different. Never been up here.
Because I was gonna say that's about the only level of drunk I would see somebody going to bed
Yeah.
in a
No.
dog bed
Yeah.
in.
She was close to that level. Her and her sister Jackie were that drunk,
Jesus fucking
and
Christ.
Jackie was real mad that the neighbor's dog come over and pooped on the lawn.
That was mom.
It was mom, and I almost had Jackie as revenge talked into going to the neighbor's house and pooping in their
What do
front
you mean
lawn.
almost? They were on their way to the fucking door when I stopped them. And then mom wanted Jackie to be able to. They had a ice cream cake or something, and drunk ass Jackie wanted to cut it.
Yeah,
And couldn't get it to work, and was like, "Mom, look!" and was showing the cake off, tilting it down,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
showing
shit.
it over the stair railing. and
Oh,
I'm like,
shit.
"Oh my god, you guys, go back downstairs now."
Yeah, it was pure
Jason,
chaos.
quit
It was
Quit
fucking
antagonizing
amazing.
and making things worse. They go downstairs with Jason. Next thing I know, one of them's up because Jason has another idea for him, and they're wandering off to do something else stupid. I'm just like, I
Yeah.
can't. I can't.
Very upset. I
Staying with
almost
the
had him
knives.
talking into going next door and pooping on the lawn.
Yeah.
I feel like Jazz's mom has more fun at this time in her life than she ever has.
I agree with that. I think that's a real thing that's happening.
Mom did not remember the next day that she was about to do that.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, she still doesn't
I
remember
told
a lot
her
from that.
I was
that
gonna
before.
say
she
she
goes,
doesn't
"What?"
remember most of the
No.
days
There's
she
no
was
way.
here.
Yeah, no.
The only things that she remembers from that is the videos and pictures that I've sent her
Yeah.
and told her about. Like her saying, "I'm too drunk to sit on this couch," and then falling off the couch she was already sitting on.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
no.
was kind
It
of
was rough.
humorous. Yeah.
So anyway,
That was
Sorry.
my random tangent. I'm
were
on
you-
vacation
were
too,
you
so
gonna
that's
say
all I
something?
got.
Alright.
No. No. No.
No?
I finished American Horror Story 1984. Have you ever watched this American Horror Story show? Have any of you ever watched it?
yeah, I haven't seen.
The 1984.
That's the newest season, right?
No,
I think so.
I take it back. I've seen a couple
It is.
episodes, but not.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
It's not as good
I
as
saw the
first
one.
ones.
I guess this year. Now it would probably be 2 years ago, where they were all underground. It was the future. And it was
I watched the first season.
Apocalypse is what it was called, I think.
Yeah. I
Oh,
watched
you haven't
that one.
seen any of the other
I
seasons?
watched the first season.
No
I
shit.
started the second season. I was like, this is stupid. I'm not watching
Hotel
this.
was good. You would
I
like
have
Hotel.
watched every season.
Hotel's the one with Lady Gaga, right?
Yes.
That's the one.
Yeah, but I mean that's not why she's good in it, but she's
Yeah.
not
That one was pretty
the bulk of that season. It's about
good. Hotel Cortez.
yeah.
So I watched the 1984 one, beginning to end.
Yep.
It made me angry.
It's not the best. It's not
such a
Roanoke.
stupid fucking program.
Okay. Don't spoil anything for me because we're gonna watch it at some point. But
Yeah.
Well, she tells me this is how they all go. It's just fucking ridiculous.
What do you mean?
It's
She
like
doesn't
left
like the
field, fucking
randomness.
stupid.
I didn't
bullshit.
like the first season at all.
Well, the first season was fine with me. It was,
was-
sufficiently creepy.
Yeah,
But
there was
how
a lot
much
of weird
randomness was in
jumping
there?
back and forth and stuff that didn't get explained, and then stuff
Jumping
that
back and forth.
you didn't even
randomness.
realize didn't get explained until 4 episodes later, and you were like, "What did that even mean?"
I don't
Kind
know.
of like
Yeah.
every season.
I don't know.
Weirdness, jumping back and forth.
Richard Ramirez is in this one, and he's like a real person. Like, it bothers me when a show tries to do something with like real people.
Which
and, like,
I
I know
warned
how
him
it
in the
actually
beginning.
turned out.
Yeah, I warned you in the beginning. They like to fictionalize a lot of realistic stuff.
Well, then maybe you wouldn't like Hotel. There's a lot of
Yeah, liberties taken.
real deceased people in it.
Yeah.
I mean, but that would be fine. But like Richard Ramirez is there, and like I know he dies in the electric chair, like in history, like that's what happens.
Yeah.
So like, okay, as long as he still dies in the electric chair, but he does not.
So you don't like liberties taken with history, even if it increases.
I'm fine with it if the things we know are still true in your fucking made up world.
Okay, what about like Inglourious Bastards?
I hated the end of it, but I love the end of it. What do you want from me?
That's what I mean.
This is why I don't think he'll like any of the other
Did you watch
seasons.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I have
yet?
not watched it yet.
Okay.
I might watch it tonight. Actually, I might rent it tonight.
I'm trying to think of other things that are like that. There's not that many.
No,
You,
because it's
usually
stupid.
it either goes into an entirely fictional place or they try and make it as factual as possible. Anyway,
I
so
think he
so
got
so
into
what
it because it was 80s.
the whole season is about
Yeah.
Richard Ramirez?
No,
No.
he's just a character in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the premise?
It's
80s slasher.
No,
When it comes to any description for any other season, that's going to be the best description for this season without kind of giving too many details.
yeah, I guess. The
I mean,
first two episodes
Apocalypse
are like that.
had its stuff that wasn't apocalyptic
Okay.
because of it bounces back and
Yeah.
forth, but apocalypse is the best way to describe it.
I don't know. I might watch some
So-
more of it later today. See how much I really hate it.
Give Hotel a shot. It was
a
my
decent
favorite.
one.
But every time they come on, I realize something very much. Is I fucking miss the 80s so fucking much. Like fucking vaporware.
I've never missed there was nothing out of the 80s.
You were
that-
too young to enjoy them.
He really wants to do man aerobics.
Just
was that a thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Aerobics, everything was a thing in the 80s.
Man aerobics?
Well, there was just regular aerobics
The
that
class
men
was
went
just
to.
full of men. So it was man aerobics.
I mean, I'm sure there were.
Why do
men
they have to
only,
call it
but-
man aerobics? Why couldn't they just call it aerobics? Is it-
I don't
is this
know.
not
That was a
manly
thing in
enough?
this show.
You have to
That
put-
wasn't
you have
a
to
thing. Yes.
So did you all know there's a place in town that does glamour shots, and I really want to go get like glamour shots.
So go get them.
No, I just don't
That's
want to
not-
do them
Bring him to the
alone.
show.
It's not still glamour shot. Like didn't
No.
actual glamour shots go out of business?
I mean, glamour shots used to be in every fucking mall.
yeah, I remember that.
No, they do like glamour shots.
You
I
should
don't know
go
if it's
do
the
them.
same-
Why wouldn't
Look,
you?
I'm not gonna do them alone. Will you all go with me?
Like to watch you get glamour
No,
shots?
we
That's
all get glamour
weird.
shots.
Wait a minute. What if? Hold on. Is this like for the wrestling thing? Can we all go as personas? Can we wear?
Ooh, we'll
Make our show calendar, y'all.
You
Chris
remember
would be so
who were the
proud of us.
who were the two really fat wrestlers back towards the beginning of
Taskmaster.
WW?
Oh, okay.
Probably before,
He
like
always likes
around
random stuff.
early '90s.
I wouldn't have been watching it then. I checked
What?
out
It was like
earlier.
Earthquake and Tornado or something like that.
Yeah,
and it
no.
was two guys.
You earthquake and typhoon. that
Oh
you
shit!
think.
Yeah, why am I not asking you? Thank
Yeah.
you.
That's, I thought you were looking at the wrong person. That's
Earthquake and Typhoon. That's
There
it.
you
Yeah.
No, I really want
Right
to do
here?
glamour shots.
Huh? Huh?
Okay, there you go.
See?
I mean, are you sure
We
you,
can
you
pull
wouldn't
that
rather
off.
do like what do you call those photos that women now take for their husband?
Don't look at me. I don't know.
Like
what you
naked.
want.
lingerie.
Boudoir photos
Oh.
where like they get all made up in lingerie and
Did you just take a picture of me?
Yo,
Why?
you'll see.
dude, she does.
I don't like it when she does that either.
I take pictures of everything, everyone around
That was
me.
part of the waiver you signed when you started doing this show.
Yeah.
Was that, you're right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You kind of sold your
Are
soul
you sure you
away
wouldn't
to
rather do
cameras.
those? Why glamour shots?
And just because I just think it'd be a fucking just a hoot.
Well,
It'd
I
be
think you
That's
fun.
really
should.
stupid. What's a glamour shot different than just a fucking photo?
It's
Like, you
very
get the big hair
very
and-
soft,
Yeah.
light.
They fix your
Everything's
hair.
kind of grainy, sort. It looks like a soap opera.
They like.
Soap opera.
Here, look
Okay.
up glamour shots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just type in glamour shot.
I
It'll.
did. I just didn't really understand what made it different than
They
like.
fucking slather makeup on you. Like they have somebody there to do your hair and makeup and.
It's just not sitcom.
My mom took my sister
Soap
for
opera.
glamour shots one time, and they are fucking hilarious. I'll have to find them. She's like an 8-year-old kid that looks like a 38-year-old whore.
Jesus Christ.
They're
Well,
fucking horrendous.
they're very made
Is
up.
it
yeah.
almost as good as like when you went to the mall on the one show we were watching? Fuck,
Mm-hmm.
I've lost it.
There's still a Glamour Shots in town.
See, I told you, it's on.
Yeah, like these.
in the
These
e-
are all Glamour
East
Shots.
End.
They're very soft focus. They're very like heavy hair and makeup.
Hmm.
God, look at that one. Whew. That woman needed not only makeup but some eye straightener.
Woo!
That is. Whew.
Just
That
imagine
is-
what she looked like.
It's like
without-
Quasimodo had a kid.
Yeah, like this. This jazz is like quintessential 80s glamour shot.
Hmm
But glamour shots today are they
always,
all 80s themed?
always got the chin on the fingers.
Are these 80s themed?
Always with the head
I
like
guess
tilted
instead you
down and
just do, like, duck
sideways.
lips, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they were very. That's when they were popular.
As big a hair as possible. I bet Kara's got glamour shot pictures of
Guarantee-
her
have you ever seen
hanging
her,
up somewhere.
Oh my god, have you ever seen her high school fucking picture?
No,
Her
I'm
senior
sure it's
pictures?
fantastic.
Oh fuck, I've got it somewhere.
Does her hair take up more of the frame than her face?
Yes, it is some fucking.
smoking cigarettes, too?
crazy- No, not in the picture, but
Oh.
she has some crazy fucking teased out hair. Like it's like a fucking demon on her head trying to fucking take flight, and it's unfurling its wings to fucking launch into space. It's like fucking bleach blonde.
I'm gonna need to see that
highlights.
at some
find
point.
it. I've got it. I took it from her because she found it in her wallet. I was like, hey, give me that. Sign it in the back. We really went to high. Yeah, I had her sign the back of it. Like, you know how like you used to, like when you were in school, like
Yeah.
when you'd get your senior pictures, you'd have like you'd give them out, but you'd give them to people with like little notes on the back, like for some fucking reason.
Hmm
Yeah, nobody's ever gonna see my senior pictures.
Well, it's like all the years before that when you'd sign somebody's yearbook, you wrote
Yeah,
you
you
wrote
did
like
that,
some
but-
little message in it.
Yeah,
but
but
senior year, it was you had
you gave
your
your
own
picture.
picture and
And
your
you
own
find
set of
out.
to hand out to people because
Yeah,
you paid a lot of money
Can't
for 'em.
wait.
Yeah.
yeah,
no.
yeah.
I'm
I-
still learning how to use this editing tool, so this is bad.
I had,
but,
Yeah, I had a picture, my senior
Do your
picture, one of my
glamour
senior
shot for
pictures
ya.
taken with my car, like leaning on it, and I had a
That,
sleeveless
that
vest.
was a popular.
Yeah,
I
it'd
did
be
her
like
glamour
that.
shot for her.
That's
Alright, take a
horrible.
picture of
It
this.
is.
That looks like when Dwight cut the
Hold on.
face off the dummy. That's
Exactly.
edited so poorly.
Yes. As I said, this is a brand new editing thing. This is the first day I've used it.
Alright,
I do
there we
not
go.
know any of the
That
buttons.
is
So this is
rough.
the best I could do quick.
Oh,
You need to
shit.
blend something there. It looks like that picture of Trump with his fucking makeup on the other
I
day.
don't think there's a
That would
blend
probably
button.
That would probably be the best way to describe
You
glamour
need to,
shots. Is just
you need
it's
to highlight
over
my
blended.
eyebrows to make
Somebody
it a little bit
went back
darker.
and blended it,
Darker.
and then later they blended it some more.
But then they also do the hair and the makeup that like Beverly Goldberg, like
Oh, wow.
fucking 80s
Which
look.
I mean, that's the people go in there like they have their hair done when
No.
they go. No,
No, they do it there. That's part
Really?
of the service.
I didn't know that.
No.
I thought you were just paying for the picture taker.
No. I'll have to find my
And they
sisters.
maybe
It's-
did makeup
no,
or
they did
something.
makeup and your hair and the outfit.
Huh?
Like it was a whole thing. Like you'd go in there in sweatpants and a t-shirt, and then they would take that very quintessential 1983 picture of you in this with fucking huge
Sweater
hair,
and
huge fucking hair.
ugly sweaters.
Like
and-
basically watch any episode of the Goldbergs
Oh my-
and like Beverly
There
Goldberg.
you go.
is
I've
the-
darkened it for you.
wow,
Thank
that
you,
is.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
She said she wanted them darker.
Yeah, I needed my eyebrows to be darker. You can barely see.
I'm
in that
I'm
picture.
concerned about that mole sticking out the right side of your face there.
Yeah, it
This
got
is
added.
terrifying. Would you please
Mold,
take this
where
off
do you
our
see a
screen?
mold?
The brown mark
Brown
that she drew
I drew.
on the left side that's extending past your head.
Here,
What the fuck?
that one, right there.
Oh, okay.
I can circle it now.
That was
Yeah, you
confused.
got to take that off the screen. That's horrifying.
All right then.
Yeah, no. So I think you ought to go. We'll take the portable recorder. We'll do a little mini episode of you getting your glamour shots done.
All right, cool.
I mean, we're not gonna do them. We're just gonna watch you do it.
Okay, so that's the.
Yeah, that was the backwards glamour shot.
All right.
But that's not a good glamour shot either. Like,
That is off the official glamour shot website.
well, of
That's
course
why I
they're
was
gonna put the good
asking.
ones on there now. None of them are good. I gotta find the one of my sister. I'm telling you, she was 8 years old. She looked like 38 when they took these pictures, and she had like really long hair, but they somehow still managed to tease it out into this
The
Cloud?
monstrosity.
Yeah. It was fucking amazing.
So do they still exist or not? We
Yeah,
didn't
no,
really
they do.
find out.
You know, there's one in town.
Same
Yeah.
Same name.
actual. That's
Yeah,
the brand.
Glamour shot. Yeah. Oh,
What
yeah,
was
and
the
down in the
criteria?
corner in
I
gold, it
kept-
said Glamour Shot on it, too.
Is the one in town in the mall by you?
No.
It's
Okay.
trying to think. It's by
That's where I
Buca
would
de
have
Beppo.
guessed it was.
Yes, that's exactly where it is.
Oh,
Yes.
It is.
interesting.
Yep.
Right by the
That's
B
my end of
Dubs.
town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're close, you can get a glamour shot with her.
I just might. I don't have any hair to get teased. Oh, sorry. I was pointing to the kid with his dog. Like, what does a guy who has a glamour shot look like?
Like
Just,
that.
That's fantastic.
But that's new.
I would hang that picture in the entryway of my home.
Now,
Oh,
look at
that's
this guy with his
that's
cat.
a good one too. But
That's a home perm.
He had a
gentlemen.
lot of hair to begin with.
Yeah, that's a home perm. That is.
I want to see something.
He looks like Bo Duke's retarded
to
cousin.
be fair, I have the same exact picture of the guy with the cat.
The only two. This is the only two shots done.
No, there was plenty, dude. Like, it was a thing in the
Really?
80s. It was weird. Super fucking weird. It's also back when you used to take your kids.
I bet you were
To,
wearing
like,
a leather jacket, weren't you?
No, I didn't take any. No, I never got any.
I
never
thought you
used
said
that
you,
shit.
you had one done
No, I
with
had
your
senior,
car.
I had senior pictures done with my
Oh,
car, but they
okay.
weren't glamour shots. Nobody did my hair and makeup. I wish they would have. Fuck, it couldn't be any worse than what it actually is. I'm wearing like a sleeveless fucking flannel vest.
I don't know that I would want them getting on my hair
need to
if I
see
had
this
hair
picture
like
now.
you.
Well, back then it wasn't quite as long, and I had like hair in places I no longer do. Like my hairline was here as opposed to here.
Hmm.
You know, it was at my hairline was always high, but it was at a normal fucking person's hairline, not like, you know, back here. I didn't have the monkey butt in the back starting, you know, very thick, beautiful hair, and I miss it every day. I always got compliments from hairdressers about how thick my hair was. Anyway,
Yep.
Just like the 14-year-old said, Jason, you're getting old.
I am old. It's not a matter of getting old. Like, I have a mirror. I understand, and my beard now has a skunk mark right down the fucking middle. I don't know why it's decided to go gray right down the fucking middle, but I'm okay with it because it looks like it's intentional.
You're not gonna start dyeing your beard
No, fuck no. Why would I? What?
because you have a weird jizz stained in the middle of your beard.
It's a skunk. It's a skunk marking.
Mm.
Skunk marking.
It's going gray, and I'm fine with that.
Call it whatever you want.
I'm fine. Look, I'm fine with it. I'm not trying to impress nobody. I've already
I mean, I
impressed
got like
everyone I'm
I
gonna
got gray
impress.
in my beard too, but it's kind of spread throughout,
Yeah,
so it
no.
looks like I'm
Mine's
slowly
just-
turning into a wizard.
No.
You
Mine's
look
just
like a
one
giant
section.
jizzed on your face and ran away.
No, mine looks like the Pepe Le Pew skunk.
That's what
Oh.
I was thinking. Is Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah.
I could totally see you being Pepe.
Except for the French part. Come on. Let's not insult me too much, motherfucker. No, I've impressed everybody I'm going to impress. I am no longer trying to impress
That's
anyone.
a good way of putting that.
I mean, what I have now is what I'm going to die with. Maybe tomorrow.
At best.
Maybe in 20 years, you know. If I can keep them
Best
full.
case, what I'm gonna die with. Okay, yeah, no, I get that.
I mean, I'm not, you know, trying to impress anyone else for any reason whatsoever. So we covered glamour shots. That was on the list. So no boudoir photos, just glamour shots is all you want to do.
So what's the
Just
difference?
glamour shots, yeah. I'm not the kind of person.
The boudoir photos are the ones of there was a girl at work. Apparently you weren't working there yet, who had boudoir photos taken.
Which chick was this?
She was one of the clerks. She was the elf-eared clerk. You weren't there when she was there.
Elf-eared?
No. Yeah, she had elf ears.
I remember that
What was her
nickname.
name?
Brittany was her name. But she went and had those taken, and then proceeded to show like everyone at work.
Oh, wow.
The
Were they nice at least?
yeah, no, they looked nice. Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
don't even
mean
know
the
how
one
to
she
spell
showed,
that.
she was fully covered in, but she was in lingerie on her bed,
Oh.
which was weird.
Yeah.
That everybody at work saw them.
So I don't understand this service. You
Oh,
pay somebody to
got it.
come out and take pictures of you while you're half naked.
Yeah.
in your house.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they're like
Like, why not just use the self timer on your camera
Well, they're
and
like-
save
but they're professional.
$200
they're like,
bucks?
They're like pin-up pictures. They're
Yeah.
like professional,
okay.
like, and they bring lingerie and high heels and
Oh, they bring the stuff with them.
yeah, and they like make you up and they make you look like a
Hmm.
pin-up girl.
Okay. I
And
didn't
then you
realize it
take
was
the
full
pictures,
service.
like
I
around
thought you
your
were just
house.
paying some creep with a camera to come in your house and take pictures of you.
Well, I mean, you are essentially, but he does more than just creep.
Time.
And I mean, they
Bruce,
have
he gets to
studios you go
dress
to
you?
too.
And tell you how to wear your hair and makeup. and then take the pictures
So
of you.
it's like you're paying a puppet master with a camera to come.
Play doll with you.
But let's be clear here. If a guy knows how to fix hair and knows about clothes and is also a photographer, more than likely he's not that interested in you.
I mean, just
As
because
a
he has
female.
just because he has a camera doesn't mean he's a photographer.
Well,
Yeah.
I understand.
I know a lot of guys who would do that for free.
I understand, but to be able to make it all come together and look nice.
Are you assuming which way he swings?
I'm assuming that if a guy knows about hair, makeup, and clothing, and is also
As
a
a
photographer,
transgender person, I don't think you should be assuming anything else.
you should stop throwing out that you're transgender for somebody like doesn't get the joke that somebody called you transgender as a troll,
But that would make it even funnier.
and then they just assume you're transgender.
It can just be a
Then they
running
should
bit.
listen to the
We
show.
can say we all are.
and we all
Well,
know.
we all look the same, Bruce.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
He did say that. He did say we
all of us
look
look the same.
Which is pretty impressive, man, that we all look the same.
Well, we're all from the same area, pretty much, except for her. It's
I thought it was kind of just
Maybe he's like,
maybe the
maybe he was
tables.
like Chinese, or how like to us,
Oh yeah, that's probably what it was.
all of.
I thought it was
Yeah.
just you guys had both gray on and we both have this brown on, and it just kind of melded
We all
together.
have brown hair, so
Yeah.
white faces. I don't.
Headphones.
It's
You
all
know,
look,
all
it's
white people
four
look
of the
alike,
same
yeah.
person to me.
He was a
Yeah.
Chinaman. He couldn't tell the difference. I got
Gotcha.
it.
That's probably what it is.
All these white people look the same to me.
I only felt
What
bad
the
for
fuck?
Bruce because he's the only one who doesn't have long hair, and apparently his hair's long, according to what we see.
Yeah, I don't,
It's like Ty whenever he calls any music that isn't hip hop or R&B country.
Does he really?
Yeah, he called the Beatles country. Yeah,
I can totally see him doing that.
I'm like, it's
Jesus
not country,
Christ.
dude. Like, there's rock and roll, there's like heavy metal, and then
He
there's
drives me
country.
nuts.
Like, you can't be going around calling the Beatles country. You're gonna upset somebody.
I'm gonna get really offended, man.
Like, especially out here. Like,
Well, you could just call any song with bass in it rap to him,
You
and
could.
that would probably bother him just as much
you
as.
could.
They're
I'm gonna
like,
start.
man, Kesha's rap, man.
Right.
I'm gonna start calling the Bloodhound Gang rap and playing some Bloodhound Gang.
Yes, please do.
These are my homies.
Motherfucking Falco, yo. Anyway, that song where they sample the Falco song, they also sample like 10 other songs. It's fucking hilarious. There's like Metallica in that song.
I don't know that song.
Well, I have to play
I
it.
guess.
I can't play it on Twitch. It's fucking great. It's the Rock Me Amadeus song by
Oh.
Bloodhound Gang.
Oh yeah, I don't
You've
know
heard
that one. I mean, maybe.
I mean, in the 90s you heard it back when Bloodhound Gang was relevant.
I know
Once
they're.
again, I'm old.
I know they're two big songs.
Yeah. Which one of them come on last night, so then we listened to the whole fucking album because I'd forgot about the Bloodhound Gang.
Mm,
I had no idea what I was listening to.
I had to explain to her who Chasing
Mhm.
Lane was.
special.
Do you know who Chasing Lane is?
No, but I know who the Bloodhound Gang is.
No.
All right.
It
She's
wasn't
like-
just me.
Did you ever listen to Mindless Self-Indulgence?
No.
They're the only other band I would describe like the Bloodhound Gang, where you kind of it's like they're their own thing.
Yeah, they don't fit.
They don't
into
really
any
fit in a
boxes.
genre. They're just like that's who
Weird.
they
They're
are.
just weird.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's just their thing is
They
weird.
fit in the box that says WTF when you listen to the lyrics.
Oh, yeah, the lyrics are supposed to make you uncomfortable.
I had no idea what they were changing this.
I mean, they have a
songs
song
to.
called The Lap
Was not
Dances.
prepared.
It's so much better when the stripper's crying. Like, what do you expect out of a band that has that for a song title?
Well, I didn't expect anything because I didn't know what the song titles were to these things that were coming on.
And then he's got a whole song about how it's hard to rhyme words with a vagina.
Hmm.
Calvin Klein, kinda, North Carolina.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's his complaint in the song.
Hmm.
Wow.
It's a valid.
Anyway, so I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap up today. I think
Cool.
we've got as much blood out of this particular tournament as what we're gonna get, unless somebody has anything to be brought before this podcast before we proceed to close.
I got maced by hairspray
Go on.
at wrestling, but that's about it.
Well,
That was
okay.
interesting.
Hold
no,
on.
you
Somebody
can't
wasn't
just-
holding up a lighter in front of it. Isn't that? I thought that was
What?
you know,
lighter and hairspray.
homemade
No,
flamethrower.
I didn't get like, my face.
thought
still
that was a
looks normal.
thing.
No.
I thought that was the next part of the
pretty
story.
much.
Right.
So one of the girls had that can of hairspray. The girl standing in front of her, she ducked, and oh man, I got hairsprayed, and of course the girl like
Oh
all
shit.
up in my face. It was fun.
Like it was staged.
So you got
I'm
it in
guessing.
your eyeballs.
With
You knew this
wrestling,
was
so-
happening. I'm saying, did
There we
they
go. Yeah.
did they tell you beforehand? Like, I'm gonna spray you in the face with a hair.
But was it a
Alright.
shooter or work?
Well, the girl who did it is one of my friends, and she's a complete dumbass, and just like followed me this close with hairspray.
So I take it you rolled around and clawed at your face for
Yeah.
like.
Well, of
and,
course.
and I made
So
the other girl,
most of
because
it
she came
was
to check
real.
on me, and my only comment to it was, it burns, and she just started laughing on television, on live television.
So you have a show this weekend, right?
Do y'all have like a I don't know, a safety word for in case you get injured more than you're expected to, so that
No, I'll just
so
cuss
so that
slow
they don't
so
know
they
you're
can
just
know.
playing it up or whatever.
I mean,
You know what I mean? Like, so in that exact scenario, you could be like, "Oh fuck, I'm actually blind," but say
Oh God!
your safety word is so
I
that they
just-
know you're being serious instead of just playing.
Please, God.
I mean, it. She got.
Originally, I thought it was gonna get sprayed like this far away, and then she's all in my
Just an
face.
inch.
I was like, "What the fuck,
She
Callie?"
wanted to make sure that if she got a nail in there too.
No, I was pissed. I was like, I think
Seriously?
go 2 inches for my fuck.
Seriously, I'm not this good of an actor. I'm dropping it out.
I just kept following me, just across the ring. Oh man.
So you have a show this weekend.
Yeah.
I want to try to take the kid to it if you're
If
gonna
I'm
be a part of
actually,
it.
yeah, I think I should be on it, but
So just
I-
let me know.
I got a show in like 2 hours. I just got booked on while sitting here.
Would you like to accompany us since you're on vacation? Maybe next Saturday we go check out the wrestling.
I mean, we'll
With me and my
probably
kid?
still be out of town,
Oh,
but if we're
never
not,
mind.
Excuses.
I thought maybe you'd want to bring one of the boys
wrestling.
that might be into the wrestling.
Where's it? Is it here?
Yeah.
It's in town, yeah.
Maybe.
Uh,
If we're back by then or we don't go, then yeah.
I'm gonna probably try to take Calvin, see if Amy or Jazz wants to go.
Jazz will be at work.
So Jazz is out. She's like, yeah.
I have to close.
Hold on, can we all go get glamour shots beforehand?
Ooh, glamour shots and then wrestling. It's like a fucking
Man, that sounds
Win-win.
so redneck right there.
That's like the best day ever.
get a truck wash too. Sure, okay.
Yeah.
Go mudding.
Tractor pull. There we go.
So I see you got a hand stamp on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what
I
club
was-
were you at last night?
Well, I was at No Club. I was at one of our shows actually,
Okay.
and it was dinner intermission. And me and typical me, I was just picking on the bad guys because at that point I can get away with it in front of the audience. But they just had they had stamps with our company logo on them, and so I just went around to all the bad guys and embarrassed them and put stamps on them. And then I was like, ooh, let me see what it looks like on me. I
Oh,
was
okay.
just bored.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't
Playing
go
those stamps.
not too wild. I went to IHOP after.
That's always
the
a bad
show.
choice. There's never been a time where I went to IHOP and now left and I was like, it was a good plan.
Yeah, but I mean, it's usually better than Waffle House.
Yeah, the guy I rode with was like, let's
if,
go to
if
Waffle
those are your
House.
two options,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
you're gonna pick IHOP.
But here's the thing: is like Waffle House, you're gonna be ducking shit getting thrown, and chairs and shit. But you're gonna get your food pretty fucking quick. Whereas at IHOP, hell, you don't know when you're gonna leave there.
Well,
that depends on what you order.
shocking. IHOP was like dead when we got there. I guess because the other restaurants were still open. It was like 10:30, 11
Oh
o'clock.
yeah.
But then by the time we left, it was packed, and I was like, all right, good timing. So
I miss Waffle House. I haven't eaten
We
there
were
in
in
a
a Waffle House. You saying this made me think about it. A few weeks ago, I'm pretty sure all the furniture is bolted down. I don't think there are chairs
Yeah,
able to
they
be
are.
thrown. I think all of the stools are at the bar, and everything else is booths.
I think you're right. The one over here in town used to have like 4 tables that had like physical chairs,
So my last
but it
time,
may have changed now.
Last time one went through a window is when they did away with that.
Probably.
last time I went to Waffle House, we had a show. Weirdest thing, we had a show at a physical therapy convention. Isn't that weird? Land Resort. Okay.
Okay.
And so we got there super late, and the owner of our company was like, "Oh, let's just go to Waffle House." So we come rolling in 20 of us, and it was like New Kids on the Block had a concert the same night too. So it was like popping on
Oh, my
Thursday night
God.
at Waffle House.
Wow.
A bunch of fucking late 30s.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, that's what
fucking
they're
all-
getting.
Sounds awful.
Oh.
Well, what's awesome about this story is that we get to the Waffle House. Of course, it takes, but it wasn't like the convenient Waffle House experience. We all waited like 2 hours for our food, and they
What?
had like a new server. They got into it with the other server because she was giving her a tip. And so then, like, the owner of the company has got money, so he's like, "Here you go. Here's like $50 to just shut the fuck up."
Oh God.
Yeah. So
Fair.
he avoided the cops getting called by just throwing $50 at the lady and was like, "Go on with your day." But yeah, I was like, "Wow, I'm gonna actually see a fucking." It's amazing, and it's not even 2 a.m. It's only like 11 o'clock.
The last time I was at a Waffle House was the drunkest I've ever been in my life.
Sounds about right.
And before I walked in the door, I puked in the bushes. I think were you there, or did you already left?
Maybe. You talking about after a fair?
It was after a fair.
I think I went home
I think you
when
did,
y'all
yeah.
went to the Waffle
I think
House.
you did. I puked in the bushes, and everybody still told the story of how like I went from just being completely sloppy drunk to when the waitress come over, I sat up straight, held my menu, and ordered perfectly, and then immediately went back to being sloppy drunk.
Just a switch went on in his head.
He's a Waffle House professional. It was all muscle memory. He doesn't even he doesn't remember.
What? No, it was more like this lady's gonna call the cops on me because I was so drunk. I didn't realize no matter what shape I was in, if I wasn't like waving a gun around or throwing chairs, Waffle House ain't calling the cops. I just set up, ordered perfectly, and went back to being fall down there. I don't even think I ate. I think I went back outside and puked in the bushes again.
Yeah.
That was the night that I like fell down like 20 times pulling steaks out of the ground.
Huh.
And then finally,
I recall it fondly.
You were there, right? And then
Yeah.
I finally was like,
I
just
wish
go
I had a
on,
video of
just
this.
go. I'll be there in a few.
Yeah. That was
Sounds
the first night we did the all nighter or maybe
No, that
maybe
was
the
the
second
one.
year.
Yeah, the first night there was just 4 of us. that
Yeah,
did
because the
all-nighter.
first night I didn't stay
Yeah,
because I had to work the next morning.
yeah. Oof. Ugh. It's the drunkest I've ever been in my life. I think it was so bad, so bad.
Anyway,
All right, so we're
most of
gonna-
those stories end up at Waffle House
mine shouldn't have.
or start at Waffle House.
They wouldn't leave me on my own, so I had to go to Waffle House. And then for some reason I thought I was gonna order food at Waffle House when I puked 5 times tonight. Why would you want to order food?
Because you're drunk.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you're that drunk, you're super hungry.
Anyway, we thank you for joining us. Don't forget to check out next week. We'll be back 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. Never forget to check out the podcast. The podcast has much better sound quality, and it's available wherever you get fine podcasts. Or you can go to our website at eldoradostudio.net and sign up there using whatever means you want to. If you like the show, don't forget to tell somebody about the show, and we'll see you next week. And then you're going to do that thing that you do, which is the
Hit it.